Oh,
You
you,
there?
oh, are you
Yeah,
talking to
I
me?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I thought you said Hamid. Okay, okay.
between the defender like Ibrahim Kanote, Upamecano, let me break out the report. Upamecano, Ibrahim Kanote, and Rafa Varane. Who do you likely think Chelsea will get in the summer?
Upamecano, he's going to Bayern München, so I don't think Chelsea will get him. Konate, if the thing is, if they sell um, Upamecano because he's a release clause, will they
Mm-hmm.
want to sell Konate as well? Because it will be two of their centre backs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that likely as well. Who was the third one? Varane.
Rafa Varane, yeah. You want to leave Real Madrid?
Ooh,
Yep.
I could see that happen. I could see that happening.
So Real Madrid said they're not getting less than 15 million for Rafa Varane.
50 million is a lot of money, man.
Damn, yeah.
The thing is, the guy, he's very talented. He's fast. It feels like, some defenders, they can't be on their own. They need someone
Mm-hmm.
experienced next to him. So
Like
he
Like
Thiago
can,
Silva, someone like a
yeah,
you
Thiago,
saw
like
that.
a
You
Thiago.
saw that Man City game. You saw that Man City game.
yeah. So Varane, he
Mm-hmm.
needs like someone like Ramos uh, besides him. And in Chelsea, you have Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva is short term. Thiago Silva
Yeah.
will maybe play one season more. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think Varane can take over that role of being the leader of the team. And you have Zuma, Rudiger, Christensen. I don't know. I don't see anyone taking over the leadership role.
I
So
think probably based on the report I'm hearing, I think probably Rudiger, Zuma, or Christensen. We're gonna select two defenders in the summer, two or three defenders in the summer.
Tomorrow's on loan as well. So
Yeah,
we
so
might play.
we're selling two or three defenders in the summer. I can guarantee you that I can see that happening. We're selling two or three defenders because we need the ball playing centre back.
yeah, what's his name? Tamuri. Is
Mm-hmm.
he a
Yeah,
buyout from Milan?
AC
Yeah.
Milan wants to buy him permanent. They want
25
to buy him.
million. 25.
Yeah, they want to buy him permanent.
Because he has been. I watch all the AC Milan games.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been playing very good, man.
Yeah, he's been
Very
playing
good.
very good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
It's a
he said,
shame
with
that you had
Lampard.
Lampard. It's a shame that you have Lampard and he
Yeah.
sold him.
Bro, before he got sacked, his last thing was put Tomori out on loan and screw us over, man. That screwed us
Yeah,
over.
that was
I think Tamura was one of your best centre backs last season.
He made
mm-hmm.
one
No,
mistake, yeah, and
it was
Lampard
the
got
best central back under
yeah,
Frank Lampard at
done
Derby County. It
done
was even the player
over
of the
Mason
season.
Mount.
It was the player of the season ahead of Mason Mount in Derby County. How on earth is someone of the player of the season and you came to Chelsea just because of one mistake you bench him,
The
you
guy
force him out
played
of the.
Rudiger and Christensen over him.
It does exactly, and it doesn't make any sense because we can see the potential in Fikayo Tomori. Yes, every player make mistake, but you can't tell me because of one mistake you force the play out. You don't do that.
Mm.
You do
Mm-hmm.
not. You don't do that to your
Yeah,
team. You don't.
it shows bad man management from Lampard again.
Mm-hmm.
So you see us getting Varane or Ibrahim Kanote. Let me bring it up.
I see you get Varane, but I don't think it's a good signing for specifically um, Chelsea. But I think
Why?
it's possible to get just because he's not a leader, and I think you need a ball playing leader. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm.
Someone like
Mm-hmm.
Thiago Silva, a replacement of Thiago Silva. And to be fair, there isn't many players like that. The only
Mm-hmm.
one I would say is like that is Marquinhos, Van Dijk, Ramos, Silva. Those type of players. Diaz.
There is players like that, but they're just up and coming. They're not ready made.
Like if Tuchel continues play as a with the back three, I would see Laporte as a very good
No, he said he's
center
gonna
back.
change it. He said he's not gonna make what's called. He doesn't want to make the back three like
Okay,
for the foreseeable future.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard one. I don't rate Varane as the main center back, but
Wait,
he
how good is Varane himself? How
he
good is
won
he?
a World Cup. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
without Ramos, he played besides Umtiti, who isn't that good. So
Mm-hmm.
to be fair to him, he has done it without Ramos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Still, lately he's been very poor, man. The mistakes he does is being too repetitive. but he's still young. He's 27, so he has a
Mm-hmm.
long career ahead of him.
So you see us getting Ibrahim Kanote than getting Rafael Varane.
I would rather go for Canute, but I don't think it's possible. I think it's more possible to get Varane.
Apart from Varane, is there any other defender you would suggest for Chelsea getting?
Maybe Kunde because he will
Mm-hmm.
probably have a high
How much
market
is
value.
Kunde? How much is him? How much is him? That's the
I don't know,
problem.
but I think Sevilla will probably want to sell him
50.
for, yeah, 40 million minimum.
40, 50.
Yeah,
Players are right
40,
back as well.
40 minimum.
Yeah, between 40 and 50, around that mark.
But my worry with Kanote is he's an injury player. He gets so many injuries. That's my problem with him.
Mm.
That's my problem with him. He gets so many injuries. How can he cope with the physicality of the EPL? That's my problem.
he's a physical player. He's just injured, as you said. That's the
Exactly.
word.
That's my problem. He gets injured so bad. He's an injury prone player. So that's my worry with him. Like, can we even trust him in the physicality of the EPL because we know how physical the EPL is.
Yeah.
We know how physical the EPL is. We know how the physical the EPL is. So can he survive the EPL with the kind of criticism the kind of player the EPL player get and everything? Can he survive? That's my worry with Ibrahim Kanate. So let me come to Sami now. Sami, I know Upamecano has been finalized to Bayern Munich. So Rafael Varane, Ibrahim Konate, and what other defender would you love to get in Chelsea in the summer?
Mm, If I would choose one, to be Varane for sure. And I'm actually happy that we're not going for Upamecano because I just think he's too young, man. I think he's not ready for Premier League football. I think
Mm.
him choosing Bayern is a good place because I doubt they will sell Boateng. And
I
even if
think
they sell,
Boateng may go. I think they're buying Upamecano because of Alaba. Alaba wants to leave.
Yeah,
yeah,
Alaba will probably go
yeah.
Madrid.
So
Alaba wants to leave.
I
Mm-hmm.
think the pairing would be him and
CEO
Boateng and
Hernandez.
him and Sule. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's not a bad CB pairing. But for us, Varane is if we can get Varane, it would be perfect because I think people are judging Varane just from one season, which is unfair because you can't judge a player just from and it's not even one season, it's just like 4 matches that most people are saying, oh, Varane is not good, he's this, he's that. If this guy comes to the Premier League, he has the experience. I think he could because even when you look at Van Dijk and the rest, Van
Mm-hmm.
Dijk wasn't this Van Dijk in Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
He had the tendencies, he showed the traits, but he was not this Van Dijk. So at the
Mm-hmm.
end, I think we have to look for players that are showing that trait of okay, I can take my game to the next level. And if you look at all
Mm-hmm.
these players called, Varane is the one that actually, yes, this guy is 27, maybe 1 year in the Premier League could take his game to that next level that he's also a leader and also the things he has won is something that I think our team needs. This guy
Mm.
has actually won almost everything you can win in football, so
Yeah,
it's a
that's true.
very good
Yeah,
addition.
yeah, very true.
So you will probably go for Varane rather than Konate.
100%. I'll
Why
go for
why why won't you go for Ibrahim Konate? Why?
because Konate, number one, I feel Varane is a more better ball playing centre back, which
Mm-hmm.
Tuchel likes. Konate
Okay.
is not even Upamecano is way better on the ball.
Upamecano will make mistake. That's my problem. Because if you make mistake in APL, the APL will roast you. They will roast
No,
you.
let's be
Yeah,
real.
if you want prove and
Everybody
prove, just
makes
look at what
mistakes.
Rashford
Thiago
did
Silva
in
made
that Champions
mistakes.
League game.
Yeah, he will get roasted. That's my problem. I don't want him to
No,
get roasted.
every
He's too young.
defender makes mistake. Every goalkeeper makes mistake. Mistake is
Mm-hmm.
not is about okay. Out of 30 matches, will you how many? If you make mistake once or twice, I consider you a world class centre back
Mm-hmm.
because even Van Dijk has made 1 or 2 mistakes. It's not
Yes,
normal.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me, Varane as a ball playing centre back is good. I think this Tuchel system of three at the back could actually help him to be
And
more
the three at the
confident.
back is not for a long time, though. It's not for a long time. It's for the
No,
just
I
for the
see.
moment.
Tuchel changes his system, but I think
Yeah.
this three at the back is some because the way he plays this three at the back is different from the way other people play it.
But exactly, that's my because sometimes he play 3-4-1-2, 3-1, 3-1. He's doing somehow like sometimes 2-2-2-2, 3-3-3-3. What the hell
You
is
have to
going on?
get used to it because that's Tuchel for you. That's the way he plays his game.
Sometimes I see formation. I'm like, and I keep asking myself, what kind of formation is? Is it a back four? Is it a back five? Is it a back six?
He's the first
What's
one
going
that
on?
I saw for no, is it 4-2-2-2-2? I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen a formation, or is it four? Like he has crazy formations, but that's the thing about him is that he's very interchangeable. He doesn't stick to one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Varane in a three back system, that's maybe Varane and that's the thing. As Piliqueta, all these guys are old, so I would say maybe Varane, Christiansen, and Zoom. But Zuma, my problem with Zuma is that he's not good on the ball. That's my
Mm-hmm.
only problem with Zuma. And you could see it in that game against Barnsley.
Yeah,
He's
exactly. I
that
think
was
that was the
how
reason
that
Tuchel
was
has not
why
been
our
using him.
midfielders couldn't touch the ball because we didn't have any centre back who could really play the ball
Pass.
to the midfield, who was
Yeah,
confident in because Zuma was in the middle of that defense. I
yeah.
feel Christensen is better
If
in
it
the
was
middle.
Christian that was in the middle, I believe we would have done better. Though.
Yes, exactly. I don't because if
Mm-hmm.
you notice that game, even all the passes that were going to the midfield were from
Was sideways.
Christensen, and it
Yep.
was
Was
from
side
Christensen's place on the is it right or left? I'm not
on the,
sure.
yeah, on the right. Yeah, it was playing as Piqueta.
Exactly. Nothing came from Zuma because Zuma is not confident enough to play that ball. He knows
Mm.
himself. That's one thing I was happy with. That he knows his he knows his ability. So he didn't push it because maybe if he did, he would have considered a goal.
Yeah,
So I'm worried for Zuma Sha in this Tuchel system because I
but
think he might.
do you think out of the player we have outside, like maybe let me say Ethan Hampadu and what is this guy's name? Is it Gray? Yeah.
Okay,
So which of them has kind of future in Chelsea? Because if you want to go for a world class central back, I'm looking at Rudiger, Zuma, Christensen. Out of those defenders, two needs to be sold or one needs to be sold there. We can't have so
mm,
many defenders because we're bringing in new player that has been gone on loan who have experience as who wants to blend into the team. So we can't have too many central back in the team. Two or one has to go.
yeah.
So realistically, who do you think can go? Who do you think can break into that first team? Nathan Ampadu or Gueye?
Ampadu and Gurry. It's just this is my opinion. I don't think both of them are ready. I really don't
Hmm.
think. I don't even. I think Ampadu is okay, but let's be real. If we want to stay in this level we are at, we can get Ampadu. But if we want to take our game to the next level, Ampadu is not the solution.
Mm.
So that's my thing with that guy. So he's good and everything, but it's not. He's not going to take us to that next level of Champions League final of Premier League winner. You understand with Ampadu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if we can get out of Rudiger, Christensen, and Zuma, it depends on what the coach wants. But in this
Guys,
Tuchel system,
like the big guy, like the big guys. So continue.
in this Tuchel system, I feel
Mm-hmm.
Christensen and Rudiger will, particularly Christensen, and why Christensen is because of Christensen's age and the
Mm-hmm.
fact
He's
that Christensen is still very young. He's like 24.
24, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's quite young for a defender, and he already has a lot of experience. He has like 100 games now, 100 starts in the Premier League. So
In the Premier League, yeah.
he's getting there. And another thing is that people have to see Christensen has improved. And I think
Yeah.
in a back three, he's not that bad. In a back
Mm-hmm.
two, he can get exposed, but in a back three, he's all right. So
I
Christensen,
think he need more if he can play. I want to see him play with Thiago Silva first in the back
yes,
four. He should
yes.
play with Thiago Silva first in the back four. Then let's see how good of a player he will be.
Mm,
Then before
I
we
think
can kind
I
of
think this back four because me, I'm seeing this Tuchel and I'm seeing that quite alright. He might change it, but I think especially because of this situation we are in now, that he came
mm-hmm.
middle of season, I think he will stick with the back three more. What do you think? Do you think it's back three or back four? Because I'm seeing more. I feel
I
that
think he will switch to back four depending on because that's why he said he said it in the That's what Chelsea are going for a central back in the summer. He said they want a ball playing central back that's gonna partnership the Thiago Silva. That he want a ball playing central back. Then I feel like that was when we were going for Pamukano, Ibrahim Kanote, Rafa. I was like, okay, now Upamecano is going to Bayern Munich. The ideal scenario we could see is maybe Konate or maybe like Rafa Varane. But really, can Rafa Varane really play ball from the back? Is it that kind of a ball playing central back? That's what I don't know.
Out of all these defenders, for sure, I
Mm-hmm.
think he's the most that actually can play from the back. He's not bad at it.
Oh, Rafa
Mm.
Varane.
Varane, Kanote is not that good at playing from the back, for sure. Kanote is more similar to a Zuma, where when it comes to defensive art of tackling and
Mm-hmm.
heading the ball and all that, he's very
Mhm.
good at it. But
Very good. Okay.
someone that plays the ball from the back, if you really watch the way Thiago Silva plays, sometimes I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, this guy self could play midfield for us. That's how
Yeah.
good he is as a passer. As a DM, am like, he's so good on the ball. And the closest to him is Christensen when it
Consistency.
comes
Yeah.
to that. So
Yeah.
at the end, Varane would be the main choice, I think, if it's possible, because I don't still really believe this Varane news is true.
I saw the news, but I think it's too. I'm not sure. Ah, Munta is here. Yo, my guy is here. Yo,
Yo,
Munta, how you doing,
yo,
bro?
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Assalamu alaikum, Abdullahi. How we
Wa
doing, man?
alaikum salam. Long time, bro.
Yeah, man. It's been a
How
long,
you
man.
haven't been doing, bro?
No, I'm doing good, man. I'm just busy these days, huh? How about you?
It's been good. It's been okay. We've been pushing it. We've been pushing it.
Chelsea's
It's just
winning,
been.
yeah, and to Shell. Chelsea's playing
Yeah, I
good, man.
said it, bro. I told you the 2 years apprenticeship is over. I told you I know my club better than anybody. I've been in this club for like 2003, so I know how Roman works. If you don't do well, the door is open. Roman will sack you. And already from
Definitely.
day one, it's been 2 years. I already said I told you, Chich, 2 years apprenticeship. Watch him after 1 year, he's gonna get sacked. 1 year is already over. He already get sacked. I know. I know Roman. I know Roman ambition already. As a fans, I know. I already told you and read. He will get sacked. It's just a matter of time because I know Roman.
Hmm.
So go ahead and continue, Sammy. Continue. You there?
Do you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Muntaha, does he think Varane will leave Madrid because he's a Madrid fan?
Oh, yeah. So, should I respond to that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So, with regards to Varane, the thing is what, like, he is like he's still bond with us, like, for next 16 to 18 months of contract left. But the problem with him and with us is that we are trying to convince him to go for contract extension for next 2 to 3 years for
Yes.
us. So he pretty much like he's not interested to sign for us for a long term. So ultimately, I mean, by the end of the season, it will be just 1 year. Like where will be with us. So 1 year of contract was left with us. So we cannot allow him to leave in free. So we might push to sell around, and in that case, because he doesn't want to sign like 4 to 5 years of contract with us. So that's the problem. So if he won't do it, then we might sell him at the end of the season instead of just living free, or might be on pretty much less transfer fees. So it's feasible for us to sell him now rather than allowing him leaving free.
Yeah, I think he's more bored of because he won everything with Madrid. He won literally everything he could win as a player there. So it makes
That's the
sense that he
thing.
wants to leave just for new adventure, and maybe the Premier League
New
is something
challenge.
he looks like. Yeah, new challenge. So I think maybe the Premier League is looking at that as something exciting. So yeah,
No,
for now,
definitely. I mean, Premier League might be different kind of league for him, and there are so many teams, I mean, who can like where he can go and join their club. I mean, likes of Chelsea, you have, for example, United and even Spurs. So, I mean, definitely that makes sense, to be honest. But there's another club, who might come for him, because he's French as well, and
yeah,
that's PSG.
yeah.
PSG might need like an experienced defender like Varane. So
But do you rate him? How is his ball playing and You think he's a top
I mean, outstanding.
Because Tuchel said he told Ganaskia and the boy that he want a ball playing centre back in the summer. That you only want to renew the
No,
contract of Thiago
Varane.
Silva.
To be honest, Varane is fast. His positioning sense is good, great. I mean, I'll say, and his aerial ability is insane. To score against Varane headers, it's like one of the most difficult tasks. Other than that, playing from the back, Varane is insane. And I mean, the only problem for Varane with regarding us, was if you see the few games of Varane without Ramos, big games I'm talking about. I'm not talking about an average game. I'm talking about the Champions League games, the quarterfinals, something like that. Round of 16, semi-final without Ramos, he usually struggle. And the reason for that, his struggling, is that Varane is not an aggressive defender. You need to understand. Ramos is aggressive defender. So whenever Ramos doesn't place for us, Varane have to be the aggressive guy in our team, who will come out of his line to press the opponents, all those things, which he's not good at doing, those kind of defending contributions. So that's where he lack. But this is all some of the haters who tries to change the image of Varane. Without Ramos, Varane is nothing. That's not true. That's not at all true. You need to understand, Varane, without Ramos, he struggles in the big games. But there are many games. Look at this season, right? This season, the last 2-3 games, without Ramos, Varane has been outstanding. He's scoring goals. His defensive contribution is insane. And the only thing with Rafael Varane, which I don't like personally about him as a footballer, is judging the game, reading the game is poor for him. Like from his from like the way Sergio Ramos reads the game. Like for example, when Dijk reads the game, like Chiellini, Giorgio Chiellini, the way they read the game, how to play the ball.
Don't get drawn into it, sir.
Exactly. So that's the only drawback of Varane, where he's not that extra smart in terms of reading the game, and that's what he lacks. Other than that, his defensive skills, defensive contribution is insane. To be honest, that's my take on him.
That reading of the game comes with experience, because if you notice, all these defenders you called are experienced, like seasoned pros as a defender. So he has reached that age that he should step up, and for sure he won the World Cup without Ramos, so he can't be that bad. You understand? So at the end, I get what you're saying though, that he needs to step his game to the next level, especially if it comes to like a Premier League. So actually, something like what Ruben Diaz is doing in Man City, that
and can I say one more thing, brother? Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, I rudely interrupted you, but it's a really important thing I need to add. Rafael Varane is not getting recognition in Real Madrid because of Sergio Ramos and defenders like Pepe. You understand? And that's the biggest reason I think so he doesn't want to stay with us, because that's like pretty much people give credit to players like Carvajal, Marcelo in defense, Casemiro, then Ramos, Pepe for all our glories, back in recent days, in the past. But nobody is mentioning Varane's contributions, Varane's efforts, Varane's defensive masterclasses. So that's
if he leaves the club, then you'd see it, wouldn't you?
Definitely, because Rafael Varane is the kind of asset for us, and it's not
Ramos
easy.
leaving?
Sorry?
Isn't Ramos leaving too, or is Ramos
Yeah.
going to stay?
Yeah. Ramos is living on the there's
Free transfer.
Exactly, and he doesn't want to extend the contract as well, because we offer him contract as well for a year.
Real Madrid want to try and get Kunde instead.
Exactly.
Take over from either one of the two.
So let me ask him. Let me ask him.
Yeah, one second, Abdullah. Yeah.
Okay.
Jules Koundé is not actually Ramos' replacement. That's actually Varane's replacement.
Yeah, he's Varane's replacement.
Then
I got
who
it the
would
wrong
be
way.
Ramos' replacement? Because I don't think Militao is good in like the other CB.
Oh no, you need to go out there and buy, spend proper money on getting a proper leader, like a leading centre back.
The Militao needs playing time, to be honest. He's like 21, 22 years old. So we need to give him playing time. 21, something like that.
Not bad. So let me ask Muntah this time before I come to the other guys. Muntah, let's say Rafael Varane goes to Chelsea now, how will he improve that Chelsea defense? Because we know Thiago Silva is gonna be the number one defender for Chelsea, and also pairing Rafael Varane together with an experienced player caliber of Thiago Silva. How important will it be in that defense to Chelsea Football Club? And now there's a different manager in Chelsea in Thomas Tuchel, rather
Mhm.
than Lampard, who has a philosophy and who knows exactly what he's doing who exactly knows what he's doing, and he has a philosophy and the way he plays football. So Varane coming in now, how impressed will you be as a fan watching outside and watching playing in the Premier League? Do you see him struggling, or do you see him adapting to the Premier League?
No, definitely. I see him to be adopting for Premier League very fast, and like he's highly adaptable. Because I remember he adapted to us when he was 19 years old in 2012, 2011 season. Sorry. So Varane as a defender, his experience is established, and right
Mm-hmm.
now he is in his prime years. He's like 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're buying a prospect, for example. You're going
Mm-hmm.
for the best of best defenders who's available in the market. I mean,
Yeah.
and his Champions League experience, his league experience, his cup experience, everything. I mean, Varane is a perfect signing for Chelsea right now in terms of defense, especially with the leadership quality of Thiago Silva next to him,
Mm-hmm.
will definitely improve him in terms of positional sense and reading the game and everything, which is a kind of drawback of Varane. That's the only drawback of Varane. And
Mm.
his, as if I said earlier, aerial abilities of Varane. He's like 6'3" tall. So his like yeah, so it's very difficult for the opposition to score goals against Varane aerially in terms of headers and regarding ball clearance, everything defensive work is really great. So overall, that's like 9 out of 10 signing for Chelsea, 100%.
Listen, will you rather choose Ibrahim Kanote or Rafa Varane?
Easily Rafa Varane, and the reason for that is Varane is established defender. He has played. He know how to perform under pressure. To be honest, pressure at Real Madrid is like a higher than at Chelsea. I know Chelsea plays in Premier League where they
Mm-hmm.
have a pressure as well, but Rafael Varane can easily dealt with the Premier League pressure and the requirements of Chelsea Football Club. I don't know what Ibrahim Konate, man. I mean, because that guy is like not yet established. We don't know how he will perform in Premier League. We know Varane is fast. We know Varane is physical. We know Varane can at times do dirty job. So yeah, I believe Varane is a perfect package. But I mean, it's so difficult for Chelsea to sign Varane from us. I believe that will be
Because
huge
you guys are saying
expensive.
50 million. So I think Chelsea will
Yeah,
probably want to sign him because our first priority was to sign Upamecano, and Upamecano is going to Bayern Munich now. I think Liverpool
yeah,
wants to sign Ibrahim Konate. Liverpool wants to go for Konate, Ibrahim Konate of RB Leipzig. So that
yeah,
that leaves us with no other option than Rafa Varane because
Oh yeah,
Tuchel
I think
said
yeah,
he wants a
Madrid
defender, he wants a ball playing centre back.
yeah,
Madrid are
yeah.
also going to sign David Alaba, so that would also be a replacement too, probably.
Yes, exactly for Varane. Yeah, David
Yeah.
Alaba. So you
Yeah,
guys
so
are
the thing,
signed.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So you guys are
No,
signed David Alaba. That's the replacement for
actually,
Rafa Varane.
actually, we are linked with multiple defenders, to be honest. And the reason we are like because Varane is leaving ultimately, and might be Ramos leaving as well. So we need two defenders. So Varane replacement is Jules Koundé, which we are definitely 100% going for him, and he plays in La Liga as well for Sevilla, so it's easy
Mm-hmm.
for us to get him as well. And the
Mm-hmm.
other defender we might go for is either David Alaba or Pau Torres from Villarreal for
From
Sergio
Villarreal.
Ramos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because someone has to be there, because Sergio Ramos is leaving ultimately. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's sad. So might be David Alaba or Pau Torres from Villarreal.
Mm. Let me come to Damien now. Damien Perez. If Chelsea go for Rafa Varane, how will it improve Chelsea going forward in the Premier League and in the Champions League? And how will you rate Rafa Varane in Chelsea when it's maybe eventually is signed? Is he onto the level of a world class player or not yet? Remember, he has won the World Cup. That cannot be taken away.
Yeah, it'll be a brilliant signing by Chelsea. It's a player that they need in the center back role. to also help out Thiago Silva because it looks like that Zuma and Rudiger they, they don't look like they're gonna be in the plans of Thomas Tuchel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this will be a great signing for them. I think he'll do well in the Premier League. I think
Mm-hmm.
he'll suit it very well. Um, and I think that he can be the key to Thomas Tuchel's plan. And hopefully that will mean trophies for Chelsea in
Yeah, because
the coming
he
year.
said, and because Thomas Tuchel said he want a ball playing centre back. He has already told you. So our first choice was Upamecano, but he already chose Bayern Munich. The second choice was Ibrahim Konate. Ibrahim Konate, Liverpool wants to go for Ibrahim Konate in the summer. So definitely it leaves us with no other defender than Rafa Varane. No other. And I'm very sure, I think we have a very good relationship with Real Madrid in terms of getting players from there. So I think that kind of is a plus for us because we know we already got Mateo Kovacic from Madrid already, and there's a good relationship with Chelsea and Real Madrid. So getting Varane will not be difficult. But my problem is the 50 million Madrid are putting on Varane. Are we gonna? Does it kind of have a release clause or just a negotiation?
Okay, so that's not a release clause. That's asking price you're looking for. So
Okay.
it might easily can go up, but it's because of COVID situation, pandemic situation. It's 50 mils. So yeah, so that's asking price for Rafa.
So asking price, not a release clause.
No, not a release clause.
Wow. So Damien, 50 million for Rafa Varane. Is that a steal or just a bargain getting him?
Oh, definitely it's going to be a steal. It's probably going to be like the best buy by Chelsea since well, I don't really remember many Chelsea signings, but
Gentry, Ricardo Cavallo, Cavallo, Terry. Who also do we have also? Gary Cahill. There's Gary Cahill too. We also have I think who do we also have there? We have so many defenders in Chelsea. Under we say there's so many defenders under and there's Bellasboa, Di Matteo, Avangard, Gosendik. There were so many defenders. But I think the one I can remember in my head is the partnership of John Terry and Cavallo lasted for like I think 2 or 3 seasons or 4 seasons. I can't remember. It
yeah,
lasted from 2003, 4, 5, 6, I think 7 and 8 also. It lasted on that isolated too.
yeah, it would be a big signing by Chelsea, and and if COVID, didn't happen and he didn't have like 1 year on his contract,
Mm-hmm.
in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
he'll definitely be 70 to maybe 100 million. So it will definitely be good business by Chelsea. And since he's 27, he has about like at least like 5 good years left in him. Especially since he's a center back, he might have
Mm-hmm.
even more because you've seen with Ramos, you've seen with Thiago Silva, all of these center backs that
Mm-hmm.
even when they're at their twilight of their career, they can still do a job. So I think that he'll be a brilliant buy, and yeah, he'll be a player to look out for in Chelsea next season if they do get him.
Wow. So you are confident about him performing in Chelsea and not the English pressure, the press and everything. You're not worried about him getting kind of so many kind of because everybody get kind of abused, kind of so many because it's not from English player, from foreign player. So they get so many abuse a lot.
Abdullahi, can I
Yeah.
ask you one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Can you name me a club where players have more pressure than Real Madrid?
A club?
Yeah.
No club.
Pressure of
That's
fans,
different.
pressure of media, pressure of world footballing
I
pundits.
think Madrid is only apart from the English bias and BS and everything. I think Real Madrid because I can remember very well Ronaldo was your best player and still you guys say abuse Ronaldo. You call him so I was like, how this guy has already won you guys champions? Why you guys going on Ronaldo like
No,
this?
but the point is, so when Rafael Varane can resist and can develop well and playing world class football under so much immense pressure, so why he couldn't play at Chelsea, for example, even though Premier League pressure is nothing when you compare to the Champions League or the World Cup pressure. When you see the criticism week in week out in Champions League and the expectations from fans, and especially Madrid fans, has been known as to attack their own players, and
Yeah.
so I believe that's the answer for you. That's the answer for your question when you say pressure.
Wow. So let me come to Sammy now. Sammy, Rafa Varane to Chelsea. How will it improve the Chelsea backline in terms of the Premier League and in terms of the Champions League? And also, is it that kind of a long-time player we need in that stability? Everybody, including me, I've been crying for. I need a stability in that defense. Someone that can stay 4 or 5 years on a consistent level. Is the kind of player we need? Because we know Thiago Silva is 36 or 37. We probably leave next year. So if we can have Varane, maybe like someone like Zuma together, because both of them are French, so they can groom together and form a partnership, or do you see more as a short term or as a long term? Because I believe it's 27 or 26. How old is it? It's
27.
He's 27.
27. So that is a perfect age for a player. That's a perfect age. So do you see him in a long time? Do you see him kind of being that kind of stopgap? As a fast as the crying out, like we need a centre back that can stay 4 or 5 years in the club. I don't want us to chop and change. Someone that we know. This is my centre back. I'm going for this for like 4 or 5 years. So in terms of Varane, how confident are you as a fan? Like, yes, getting this guy now, this for a long time.
No, for sure. Because of his age, I think it will be for sure at least 5 years. So I think with Varane in Chelsea to be about the partnership. I think that would be the most important thing because from even what Muta has said, it's because of the partnerships. Quite right, they don't have someone who is as experienced as Ramos. So and I also feel maybe the fact that the person he's playing alongside is making him cover up and be that leader and also cover up for that person. So
Yeah.
he's not able to do that. So at the end, to be the partnership. I don't know about Kurtzuma because I'm actually quite. I think Kurtzuma could be the one sacrificed. Could be. I'm not sure. In this whole Tuchel stuff, I think they might even try to sell him because they will look at his market value. The fact that this season he's actually been scoring goals and all that, they might try to sell him. But I think him and Rudiger, I don't know. It's the partnership will be the most important thing because I don't want to put Thiago Silva there because Thiago Silva is old and we know
Yeah,
man
he's
is not.
36. So he's only gonna
Yeah,
sign 1 year deal. And after he sign 1 year deal, he'll probably leave maybe next year or after the World Cup. So we need someone that can stay 4 or 5 years as a center back partnership that will stay for a long time.
I think maybe they will even have to buy a new. Maybe we don't have the defender that will actually partner with him. So maybe it's about looking at the market. And the market right now, I don't even really see. I'm hearing Pau Torres, but I don't really watch La Liga that much. So I don't know how good that Pau Torres is. And I'm also hearing, I'm even surprised that no one is talking about this Napoli guy again. It's
Ooh,
like it's Koulibaly.
nobody
What's
wants.
this guy
No,
called?
the problem about Koulibaly is the owner himself, De Laurentiis. He's 29, and I believe Koulibaly will be 30 this year. So no one in the world wants to pay 100 and something million for Koulibaly. No, 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 no,
To reduce,
never.
it should have reduced by now, sure,
I
but
don't know. ADL is and De Laurentiis says he wants to sell Koulibaly for like 100 and something million, and the club was like, no, he's 30 years of age. We can't sell him for that kind of
I
amount.
have to say I'm very impressed with Man City's scouting because the way they
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe this guy is just having first season purple patch, but the way this Ruben Diaz is playing, and I won't
Yeah.
lie to you, I never knew about that guy before. So
Mm-hmm.
this shows you that there are a lot of centre backs that if you have good scouting team, you can find some very good technical players that no one is really focusing on. So because if I look at, I don't know if I mean, if Varane and Christensen will make. I can't say Varane and this guy too will be good, Rudiger. Varane and
Because I
Christensen.
think Varane, what Muta said now, Varane need to learn something called leadership trait. If he
For
can
sure,
have
for
that
sure.
ability of a leadership trait in him, he can be an outstanding defender. But I think that's what it's lacking in him as a centre back. The leadership trait he doesn't have. In which Sergio Ramos himself had the ability to read ball. boom, the ability to notify this is where the hero is. I'm going there. So being rash, not too much aggressive, but being rash in the way you tackle, the way you intercept, the way you understand, the way you read matches, the way you understand way how to go in for a tackle, how to pull out in a tackle. That is what Varane needs to learn. That is what Sergio Ramos learn a lot, because Sergio Ramos know when to go for a tackle and when not to go for a tackle. He knows.
Exactly.
And he knows when to pull out.
Thiago
Ramos knows
Silva,
when to pull out.
yes.
No. But can I say something?
Mhm.
Can I
Mhm.
intervene with you? Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Sergio Ramos is not that kind of defender who will risk the line and come for tackling, rough tackles, rash
Mhm.
tackling, aggressive play. For
Mhm.
example, if you see Ramos, right? Look what he did with Salah. For example, he didn't do it deliberately, but he
Yep.
knows what he's doing ultimately.
Yep.
Like I mean, when it comes to Varane is cool-headed defender. He loves to stay back. It's like he's like a Van Dijk kind of defender, when he doesn't want to leave his line and just to press unnecessarily. Like you understand what I'm trying to tell you? He's not
Yeah.
aggressive. Like for example, other defender you can say Marquinhos. Marquinhos is extremely aggressive defender if you see it.
Yes.
So he's not that kind of defender. So for example, if you like if you want Varane to be successful, you need to sign a one more defender who's aggressive in nature. He
Like
does,
Marquinhos. I actually was thinking of Marquinhos as a good partnership, Varane and Marquinhos.
yeah,
That would actually make really good sense.
yep. So like for example, and even if you sign one aggressive defender who's not that good, like for example like Ramos level or something like that. No, for example Marquinhos level as well. He needs to be aggressive in nature, so that will integrate well with Rafael Varane at the back. That's what I think so Chelsea should do. Because even I mean I don't think so. The Rudiger guys, that the guy is
Exactly. How do you
aggressive.
rate our defenders? What do you think about Chelsea defenders?
Should I comment on that?
Yes.
To be
Honest
honest,
comment.
okay, honest, right? I rate Rudiger 3 out of 10, something like that. Like for me, I used to rate Christensen's back in the Conte days. But now I don't like Christensen. I mean the way that he plays and the mistakes he have. So
Yeah.
so ultimately Thiago Silva is I mean he's about to retire. I believe he's 36, 37.
Yes.
And so the only guy I rated from your defense is Thiago Silva, but now he's 36. I mean,
What about
oof.
Zuma? What do you think about Zuma? What would you
Uh,
give Zuma?
bro, to be honest, Kurt Zuma for me, I mean, at times he's good, but at times he's too stiff when it comes to defending. You need to be a bit more flexible as well. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah.
And again, he has mistakes in him as well.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Especially if you press him, he will throw the ball away.
hmm So I mean, when it comes to Varane, for example, Varane is, I mean, great in doing all those aspects of football, but you cannot tell him to lead the line because he's not leader, to be honest. Like I'll be honest with you, he's not that aggressive defender. What people, for example, like he's not like Matip. If you see Matip is like very aggressive defender for Liverpool, so he's not that kind
Yes,
of
yes.
player. So you need someone like you need a Matip next to him, something like that. That will be perfect for Chelsea if you could do that. But right now, signing Varane would be the right move, 100% right move, 100%.
Mm.
Because once you land Varane, then you can work out on a partnership with Varane. Then Varane is like he can easily play 6 years, easily.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so within a year you can sign a one more young defender, someone like that, and then you can build a partnership for next 5 to 6 years again.
Mm.
So that would be perfect for Chelsea.
But
And
what about Kunde? Is he a leader? Do you think Kunde, the one from Sevilla?
Kunde, yes, yes. But the problem with Jules Kunde, he's not that yet elite defender, but he's a kind of prospect, Because he's very good. He's very good, but he's not like at the level of like, for example, Varane, or you can say Marquinhos and someone like that.
Aren't
Yeah.
you afraid of his height? Because I think that's the only
Yes.
thing that.
Yes. Yes. To be honest, he's like 5 foot 10 inches, something like that. He's
Yeah.
he's not that tall. Yes, you can say that I'm afraid of that. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Especially like Champions League matches where you play teams from different. Maybe in La Liga, I think he would do it there for sure. But in Champions League matches where you play teams with extremely tough
Yeah.
players, he might get bullied in corners and stuff. But
Yep.
we played
Uh,
against him this season, and he was very good at home.
yep. 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 And one more thing I'm worried about is not Varane, to be honest. I'm worried about Ramos. Who will replace Ramos?
Exactly.
Because that's like a generational talent. Oh my god! I mean, who will be the guy who will come there and feel the boots of Ramos? Oh my god, that's two of a big hole for us to fill in.
But
So
Madrid are gambling here. Why don't they just give him a new contract? Like, how much is he asking for that they don't want to give him?
I think so. He's asking for more than 300,000, 400,000 pounds, something like that, a week, something like that. Yeah, yeah. And we have a policy of not extending that much contract, 2 years contract for players who is 30 plus. So
You guys should sell Hazard and give Ramos his money.
no, 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 no. I mean, yes, we could do that easily. Ramos is like the greatest center back of all time. We can do that for him, but for us, it's like more than a footballer, more than a player. Sorry, because
Yeah.
what we believe is our motto is yes. Look at with Cristiano, look at with Ozil, look at with Di Maria, look at with Bale, look at with many other people, look at with Raúl, look at with Casillas. So we have a rich history of disrespecting our own legends. So it's like
Mm.
nothing new for us ultimately. So yeah, I think so. This is our club policy, not to be that dependent on player and sacrifice our policy.
Yes. And in a way, you could say it's time for him to leave too, because
Yeah,
it's
he's like about to be 30. He's 35, and I mean, even if you give him 2 years contract extension, 37. So
Yeah, before I go to Tom, let me come to Munda and Sammy for this. If Ramos should go, I'm hearing United wants to go for Ramos, for Sergio Ramos. Between Ramos and Varane, Muntaha, who will you go for?
huh,
Ramos, Varane. Who do you tell that is a perfect place for you to go to? Maybe let's say Chelsea go for Rafael Varane and Manchester United go for Sergio Ramos. Who is going to be more successful between both of them? Let me come to
oh,
Muntaha.
okay. So that's pretty hypothetical, question because
Mm-hmm.
it's a kind of prediction question.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that predictions are usually wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
you can come to the conclusion. But I'll just say one thing over here: Rafael Varane is safer bet and long-term bet for Chelsea than Sergio Ramos for United because Sergio Ramos is 35 almost. 35. How
Mhm.
long he will play that? Might be 2 years.
2 years.
And
Probably be similar to Thiago Silva at Chelsea, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. But if I'm a United fan, I'll go for the long term solution. It's not Ramos is like something else. Like to get Ramos is like it's an achievement in itself. I mean that's so good for United. But if I see from a long term perspective, because I'm a long term guy, okay, and I won't go for Sergio Ramos. I might go for some prospect instead of
Mm-hmm.
signing Sergio.
Like such as a Kunde, for example, somebody like that.
Exactly. I mean, Jules Kounde is nowhere near Sergio Ramos level, right? Even right now. But it's like a long term bet than a short term for 2 years, and then again you need a defender after 2 years in the market. You need a centre back in the market, and
Exactly.
then
So
again,
it's something like
yeah,
with Cavani. As soon as Cavani's, wants to shut up shop and retire, then
yeah,
you've got to go and get somebody.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
exactly. So I'll say Chelsea would be in the profit of for a long term signing if that happens. But from my own perspective, right? I
Yep.
mean, Ramos should go and join PSG.
PSG.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because
Wow.
Tell me why. Tell me
because
why.
because PSG wants to win Champions League, right? In the next 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to win. And they want a defenders who can stay for short term for 2-3 years and win Champions League and finish out the career. And especially that's the best club I'll say for him to go and join and win something with that. With PSG rather than going at United for short term and yeah. So I'll say PSG is better choice for Ramos.
But
So,
don't you think Ramos and Maguire would be a good partnership?
I wanted to say that, Sammy. I wanted to ask that question.
bro,
I wanted to ask that question.
Bro, and can I answer the question, Sam? To Sam, yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, the issue is Ramos can play with any defender. That's not the issue. I mean, you put him next to flipping Burnley's defense. I don't know, centre back. Even he can take that as well.
Benmi
Yeah, yeah,
Tarkowski.
yeah,
Kai, what kind of name is that?
yeah,
Tarkowski.
yeah. And he will make that Tarkowski guy looks good, great. So that's how Ramos is. But the point is, when I see from the club's project perspective,
Mm-hmm.
to bet on Ramos just for a short term. Okay, if you want to go for short term, 100% go for it. Go for it. There's no issue for that. 100% go for it. But if you're looking from a long term perspective, then again you need to go for a defender who can last longer, way longer, for at least 5-6 years. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me come to Tom now, United fans. Will you rather go for Sergio Ramos or Rafa Varane? Because I think you guys want to get a defender, and I'm seeing because Tuchel already tell the board he wants a ball playing central back. His first question to Tuchel board was, I want Upamecano, but Upamecano has already been finalized to Bayern Munich. It's out of the way. So another one is Ibrahima Kanote. Ibrahima Kanote is probably going to Liverpool because I think Liverpool wants to buy him. Klopp wants to buy Kanote out of the door. The ideal scenario defender we could go for is Rafa Varane. So going for Rafa Varane or Sergio Ramos, who would I rather pick as a United fans?
What if they were coming to Man United?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Will you guys buy Chelsea for Varane or will you probably go for Ramos?
I mean, Varane going to either of the clubs, it's going to be hard to persuade him because you're going to want big money. He's coming up to the prime part of his career. You're going to want, like you look at Van Dijk. Van Dijk took a major pay to come from Southampton to go to Liverpool. A lot of players have gone and, are going to try and pinch around and try and penny pinch to get as much money as they want. Like you look at David Alaba, for example, prime of his career, just come off of winning the Champions League. And then he's just completely said, balls to all that to Bayern Munich. And then I want to go somewhere else. Which I think is the wrong way of going about it, considering you've been with a club for how long. That's the thing that I always hate is when a player comes out and just instantly instigates, I don't want to be here anymore, or this, that, the other. See your contract out and then get on your plane and go wherever you want. That's how it should be, really. You've done your job. But like you just said about Varane and that, to be honest with you, Varane going to Chelsea will be hard to do. I'll be honest in saying it. It's not. It's probably easier. Would have been easier going and getting Upamecano than Varane because Upamecano, you knew the price. It was just pay the release. It was just pay the release clause. That was it, and just convince him over other clubs. Whereas Varane, you've got to convince him over other clubs, agree a fee, and agree a contract with him. So it's a lot harder of a deal. It's a lot harder of a deal to do. And the thing with me is, if as a United fan, I would sooner have Varane than Ramos because, like you've said, it's a longer term option. But we already have a lot of older players in the squad. Like we've got such as Cavani, for example. Cavani's going to be here, I'd probably say maybe another year, 18 months, depending on if we extend his contract, which I think we should. And then we're probably going to go out in the market and try and get someone like Erling Haaland or somebody. But I don't think we'd probably get him. I think he'll go somewhere else, like Real Madrid or something, for example. But if we talk about long term, you're looking at players like such as Jules Koundé. You're looking at players such as like Pau Torres at Villarreal. He's another name that you can shout out there. There's a lot of good young talents out there. Upamecano is just one that's been taken off of the market. So if you're going to go out there and you're going to go and look for players, every club's going to have the player that suits them. Canate suits, say, Liverpool more than any other club you'd probably say. Players like such as Varane would suit pretty much any club at the moment right now. You look at Ruben Diaz when he went to Manchester City. A lot of people said, well, I could see him fitting in, a Real Madrid or a PSG, something like that. He wasn't at that kind of pedigree. You don't go from Benfica to PSG, Real Madrid. You use, say, Manchester City as, say, a stepping stone, or you build yourself around Manchester City and then you break into the bracket of such as Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, etc. But look, if you're going to go out there and go and get a centre back right now, to be honest with you, if you want, clubs who should look at players like Ramos, and this is no disrespect to them, are clubs like such as Everton. And the only reason why I'll say that is Everton want to try and break into a top four, want to try and get into the Champions League, etc. Ramos will bring experience in that counterpart, and Carlo Ancelotti is a good manager
But
at the end of the day.
bro, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're forgetting one thing. I mean, Ramos' wages are like 350,
Yeah, that's the
300,000.
thing that I was going to say.
They couldn't afford them. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, though, those kind of clubs are what should be targeting these kind of players if they could. But obviously, trying to pull strings and get players on 400k a week to drop down to say 150 minimum is probably going to be ridiculous to try and
You
do.
don't think Ramos is good for a top club anymore?
No, I think he's good for a top. Listen, he could extend his contract at Real Madrid, and he'd live out as a legend there. It doesn't really matter. He'd go anywhere, and like we've already said, he can go anywhere, and he's going to improve the team at whatever age. Just like Thiago Silva, we said, he could go anywhere and he'll improve the team. It doesn't matter where he goes or if he stayed at PSG. It didn't really matter. But if you're going to go out there and you're going to go and get, probably the best experience option, like Chelsea did with such as Thiago Silva, because they had a lot of young players at the time. Reece James was just breaking into the team. Reece James has upped his game 100%. You can say the same for a lot of the young players in the Chelsea team who are listening to the experience that he's got. So if you want to go out there and get a player to improve your young players, go and get Sergio Ramos. If you want to get somebody long-term to help you build something and possibly mount, say, winning major trophies, then Varane's your guy. If you want somebody, I don't know, long-term as a prospect, then you'd probably say Jules Koundé, Pau Torres, all the names that drip off your tongue. Upamecano is just one that's been taken off the market. So I wouldn't be disappointed if you don't get the players that you want, because there's always a player just as good, or if up and coming, that can do the exact same role as such as that. You'll probably say Jules Koundé doing similar things. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Varane, because I can't predict the future. But he's going to do a good job regardless of wherever he goes. He's playing at the top level. You've got to do something right to play at this level. Let's be honest in saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm being honest, I'd probably go for Varane, to be honest with you.
Viroton, long time, Rafa Varane, short time, Sergio Ramos. Which club should both of them goes to? Eventually, if they want to leave.
If they don't want to leave, you said?
If they want to leave, because I'm thinking Chelsea wants to go for Rafa Varane, because Chelsea, our first option was Upamecano. So we wanted to rival Bayern Munich for Upamecano, but Upamecano already decided he wants to go to Bayern Munich. That one is game over. Another one is Ibrahim Konate. Ibrahim Konate wants to go to Liverpool because Liverpool wants to buy Ibrahim Konate in the summer. That's out of the door. This ideal centre back in my head at the moment, who I think maybe if we can put money on the table, is Rafa Varane. Rafa Varane wants to leave, and the relationship between Chelsea and Real Madrid, they have a very good relationship, which could help a lot. So, and Sergio Ramos wants to leave. So, in terms of long time, Varane, and in terms of short time, Sergio Ramos. So, where do you think both of them should kind of go to, and who would kind of be most successful between both of them?
From my perspective, they both could go to any club. They would walk to any club and start. Especially Ramos. Ramos wants a payday. So if I'm Ramos, I would go to PSG. Realistically, PSG and City are the only club that can afford his wages, or maybe United. But I know United have a lot of wages right now, so I don't know. But Varane could go to any team. He could go to any club he wants. Like he could go to a Chelsea, United. I'm trying to think. What are the clubs? Liverpool. Yeah, he could go to any big club he wants. Ramos too. Ramos could go in any club because Ramos is still performing at the top level. It's just a club policy. We can't renew his contract. We can't give him a 2-year contract because he's 30 plus. So because he's asking for more money. That's just how the club policy is. But Ramos, yeah, if realistically, the only club actually Ramos could go is PSG because PSG needs to win the Champions League. They already have Marquinhos. They just need a center back that can pair up with him.
But Kimpembe is okay.
Kimpembe is good. But Ramos brings the experience of winning the Champions League. Just having Ramos there, it's a fantastic It's just a fantastic
They
aura
could
just
also,
to have him
the
there.
three of them could play together still.
And
Kimpembe,
plus, yeah,
Varane.
sometime Marquinhos plays as a CDM too. Maybe Kimpembe and Ramos could be their partnership. But
Exactly.
realistically, the only club I can think.
But do you think Ramos could go to Tottenham Hotspur? Because people has been saying Spurs. I'm seeing. It's not me that talk about Spurs.
See, Ramos
Somebody
could go
says
to a
Spurs.
club,
See,
but my
it says
thing is,
Spurs.
my,
Kuda in Shikeda. Kudos to you, bro. Thanks for the for the. He said Spurs need Ramos. Do you think Ose is gonna go for Ramos? And do you think Spurs can afford Ramos because of
that's
his
the thing.
wages?
That's
The
the only
level is
thing. Can they afford him? That's the only thing. Can they afford him? Because if you can afford Ramos, I don't know if he's gonna go. I don't know if you're Ramos, you want to go to a club like that because Ramos hasn't declined yet. So if I'm Ramos, because look at Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva could have went to an Arsenal or any lower club, but he chose Chelsea because he still wants to win titles. So if I'm Ramos, I would go to a PSG, City, but obviously City not buying him. But I'm thinking about the team that can afford his wages because he wants almost what $400 something.
I think Everton could buy him because Everton, the owner of Everton, that they have the money. They have
Yeah.
the money.
Barcelona
Go
And
to
Carlo
Everton.
Ancelotti is a world class manager, so he has played with Ramos before, so he
But
could persuade
again, it all gonna
Ramos to
depend.
come.
Does Ramos? I'm sure he still wants to win trophy because that's just how he is.
Yeah.
It's in his DNA. So, because if you go to Everton, I would say maybe Ramos have like 2-3 more years left at the top, at the top level, or maybe he might be there even longer. Because because I'm sure as an athlete at this point of time, we all know there's nobody that's really consistent like Messi and Cristiano. Usually, an athlete around this time, even in basketball, NFL, any other sport, when they're around this age, they go for the money. Like, so it all gonna depend on Ramos' mentality. I'm sure he wants to win trophies. So if I'm Ramos, I would go to PSG and
By the
Varane.
way, sorry to interrupt you. According to FIFA awards, right? Ramos is not, named as the best defender in the world football last season by FIFA awards. So,
That's the
so
thing. That's
yeah,
why I'm like,
so
I
if
don't think
he's
he would
best
want
in
to go
that
to an
position,
Everton.
yeah. So if he's best in the world in that position, he will go for the Champions League club.
Yeah. So realistically, PSG needs a center.
Yeah. I think it's PSG, to be honest. I
Yeah,
think
to
it's
PSG
PSG.
is on the
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
Maybe United, but I think it's PSG if Ramos were to leave. But it
Yeah.
is very, very interesting because I don't know what's going on at the Madrid camp. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Ramos gonna stay or is he gonna leave. Half of us think he's gonna leave. Most of us think he's gonna leave. And Varane, if I don't realistically, I really don't think Varane's gonna leave, bro. I don't think he's gonna leave. He might. If he leaves, I'm gonna be in shock because I don't see the point of leaving now because if you know that Ramos is leaving, you're gonna be the next center back superstar on our team. So there's no need to leave. But like Montal was saying earlier, Varane is not really a leader because even in that French team, it wasn't. Yes, he was. You could say he was the best defender on that team. Of course, he was,
But he
but he
wasn't the
wasn't
leader.
really the leader. He wasn't really
Yeah.
the leader on the team. And plus,
Yeah.
we have to take matter too that France play a pragmatic like system. They play a really defensive system with Pogba and Kante, and
Blaise Matuidi.
yeah, and Blaise Matuidi. So, but Varane is a fantastic defender. If he goes to Chelsea, you have Thiago Silva there with you. You go to United. I don't think United would be if he gets a better partnership because. Tommy, is Maguire a good leader for you? Is he a good leader as a center back?
I don't. I don't. This is the problem with getting Rafael Varane now. As a Chelsea fans, I can guarantee 100% we can afford Varane. We can. His wages is not the problem. We can. I can tell you we can buy him. But the problem is, does Tuchel himself want Rafael Varane? Because all what Tuchel is saying is, I want a ball playing central back, and he only has two defenders in his mind: Upamecano and Ibrahim Konate, and those two
Wait,
are out
then
of market.
why don't you guys for Kunde? Kunde is fantastic.
Then how much
He's
is
a
Kunde?
fantastic ball. He's a
80.
fantastic ball
Kunde 80
player.
months.
He's very
80?
fantastic, though.
Yeah.
I've
80
never
million?
Yeah.
I don't
to
think we're
us,
gonna pay that kind of
this
amount.
might
I
be a
don't think Chelsea will pay that money.
stretch, but Kunde ball disputing is really good for his age, bro, because it's insane. Like
But
No, his
out of the
problem,
heights, look,
my problem is his height.
it's
Mhm.
like yeah.
Premier League, they wouldn't because corners are especially when you're playing teams like Burnley. that they actually purposely put the ball to the corner because they know that's the only way they're going to score. So if you play things like that, I think you could get a
Can
goal.
that team just relegate? Can them go to
Sammy,
relegation?
Sammy, Sammy.
For
When
Maguire,
Sammy, when it comes
yeah,
to ball corners and everything, I think so.
yeah,
Rafael Varane is the best, one of the best in the world in aerial
yeah,
abilities.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Because bro,
very
he's
tall.
six
He's
foot four,
fast.
something like
He's
that, 6'3",
physical.
6'4", and like that tall and being like, oh my god, and he's really good in clearing the balls and everything. Oh my god,
Mm.
He
yeah.
has his all round game is very good. But for even Maguire, I don't think Maguire is a bad defender because for sure when he went to United, he improved their defense. A lot of people don't want to say it, but their defense improved. It's not as bad as it has
But
been.
the problem is Maguire need a partnership, someone that can help him.
Exactly.
He's
And you
too
can't blame
slow.
him when he's playing
Mhm.
with Lindelof.
Because he's
I don't
very
rate Lindelof.
fantastic with Bailey. When him and
Yes.
Bailey play, they're very fantastic together.
Exactly.
But the
I don't
Bailey is injury prone. That's the problem. Injury prone. He gets injured a lot. So that's the consistency is not really that much there.
I truly believe a Ramos and Maguire partnership could win the Champions League. I
Yes.
actually do.
Do you think United squad is good enough to win the Champions League?
I think their attack is good enough on its day.
On his day.
But that's the thing, though. You gotta be on it in the Champions League, though.
The only shaky part I see is that midfield. And when I say their midfield, I feel
McTominay,
they,
Fred, Pogba, Bruno.
yes, Pogba is not even the problem. I feel they need a defensive
A
midfielder,
defensive midfield.
class defensive midfielder. I don't think they have that. But apart from that, I think all sides, even Luke Shaw, is really stepping up and actually playing well. So I
Yeah.
think they have this.
And I think that, well, they still have Cavani there. It all depends how long is all the because Martial is I don't think he's a very good number 9 for Manchester United.
Should be sold. It should be sold. It should be sold. It should be
If
sold.
PSG had Cavani, I think they could have won this Champions League.
To be honest
That's
with you, I just thought that if PSG just had that, because to be honest with you, they had Ibrahimovic and like don't get me wrong, Ibra one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest to ever play the game. But the problem with Ibra is he never won the Champions League before. Because the only thing to be honest with you, I think PSG was lacking was that mentality to just get over it and win it. Because if they had a player like a Ramos or Cristiano, to be honest with you, I think they could win the Champions League. That's why again I don't think they're gonna win the Champions League. Because I don't rate Pochettino that much as a manager, to be honest with you. I don't think he's good enough to win the Champions League. Yes, he got Spurs to the final. It's fantastic achievement, but and Neymar is injured now too, so I still don't think
We're gonna talk about we're gonna come to the Champions League. So I want to talk about some. People say I'm being biased, and I will say my mind out as a Chelsea fans going forward. Tammy Bakuma Abraham is not enough. Let me talk. Let me talk. Tammy Bakuma Abraham isn't sniffing Chelsea number 9. Now, I've been supporting this club since 2003, and yes, Drogba first season was bad, but that man, literally won us every trophy in Chelsea. So Abraham doesn't fit the number 9. Chelsea fans, no offense, I am a Chelsea fans, but Abraham, no for me. He can get sold, go to maybe
No,
like Accrington FC, maybe Swansea, someone else.
Say something about this.
to
No,
be
see,
fair with you,
Tammy
the
has been
only
disrespected. Seriously disrespected.
let's be real, guys. The only world class number 9 I would say right now is Haaland. And Haaland, to be honest with you, after what I saw Byron did with Upper Meccano, I think Haaland might be Lewandowski replacement, bro. At Bayern.
No, for sure. It's possible.
Because Byron had first dip first, bro. It's in their league. They're gonna have first dip. I could see it, bro. I could actually honestly see Aaron Haaland replace Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, and Mbappe goes to Real Madrid. I could see it because I'm trying to look at. No, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Is there any other good number 9 right now in the world?
I have a number 9 in my mind, but Chelsea fans will call me a racist.
What,
That's
what
why
is
I'm keeping
it?
my mouth and
What
say.
is it? Just
I'm
say it.
keeping my mouth shut
Just say it.
because I'm not sold on this Abraham stuff. I've been saying it from day one. I would love Victor Osimhen in Chelsea than Abraham.
OC man.
Yes. Osimhen is a number 9. Pure. When you talk about number 9, Osimhen is number 9. Abraham ain't for me at all. I'm not. If I'm a defender, I want to play with Abraham. If I have pace, I would like to play with Abraham because if I bully him out, if I push him out, he's out of the game. But I'm a defender. I don't want to play with Osimhen. He is very physical. He can run with you and he can score goals. As a number 9, you're gonna have a number 9 who a defender will be like, I don't want to play with this guy. No, 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 no. I'm not ready for this man. No, I do not. He has it. In terms of positioning, he has it. Goal scoring, he has it. When you have a number 9, you are confident as the attacker that when I give him this ball, this guy can make it runs. Sometimes when I see Rhys James, Jorginho give Abraham run, Abraham will make the run and he will stop. He will do like this. I'm like, make some runs, man. You're a number 9. Why are you standing and looking like a moron? What's going on with you? What kind of striker are you? I want to replace Drogba in Chelsea. It doesn't work that way. That's why I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Abraham. I'm not. That's how. Yes, if Alan is not available, I'll probably go for Victor Osimhen. But will Napoli sell Osimhen for like how much? That's the problem.
That was a record transfer signing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. You're gonna have to pay a lot of money if you were to want him, because Diego Costa was a fantastic striker. Fernando Torres, say what you want to say about him. He helped you guys win. He helped you guys
Apart
win.
from Drogba, we have not gotten Drogba replacements, and it's been a problem for many years.
Was fantastic. He was, say what you want to. He scored goals. That's what number 9 was there. He scored goals. He helped you guys win 2 Premier Leagues.
Yeah.
Yes, he had his issue of Conte. Then he left. Then when Diego Costa left, you didn't really replace him. You still had Hazard. You guys were expecting Hazard to do it. Giroud obviously is there, and Abraham. To be fair, he did score the game winner against Brat, whatever that team name is.
Barnsley.
Yeah,
but I still don't put him as a number 9 because Chelsea has levels. There's a level in this Chelsea team, and if you don't make that category of level, you get sold. And if people are forgetting, Roman is a winner who wants to win. Roman would like to tell you, I can buy Alan for 120. He doesn't care about who are you. He doesn't.
Because I'm trying to think. There's really no like number 9 that's realistically that's good in the world right now. Because
I think Alan, but the problem is the news I'm hearing is if Dortmund doesn't make UEFA Champions League, Alan will go.
Yeah, he has to go.
He will probably go.
Abdullah, I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How many world-class strikers have Chelsea had in the last 20 years?
That's what I was about to say.
Maybe one. Maybe one.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Do you know that all the strikers we've had, none of them have performed as good as Tammy Abraham is performing right now? Apart from Drogba and Diego Costa. None.
I'll probably say yes, kind of.
Maybe Giroud. But even Giroud, you can say that if Giroud is given that game time as much, and Giroud is very short to predict, but Tammy at 23 has been given double figures.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sammy. This might be off topic, but don't you guys think the quality of players in football is going down? Because I'm trying to think of like young upper coming number 9. Obviously, it's way too early. Because when you look at the best number 9 in the world, it's Lewandowski, Old Man, Mobili, Aguero, Suarez, Jamie Vardy, Firmino. Because I'm trying to be realistic. What number 9 can Chelsea possibly get?
That's why I said going for Alan now for me will be it in this summer rather than waiting for 2022. Because 2022 there's gonna be a queue, and the queue in 2022 I don't want to wait for that queue. Madrid, Bayern Munich, probably PSG. A lot of teams want to go Alan, but if you can still Alan in this summer, it's gonna be a bargain for us in this summer because I know Roman does not care about the transfer. If Dortmund say 120, Roman will pay 120. If you want something.
The thing with Haaland, I think he's good in Champions League games, but I seriously have doubts against teams like Wolves or Burnley or all these teams because these are the teams, all these teams that pack the bus. Haaland has not faced that. there is a 50% chance that he could actually
Yeah,
flop
but
when it
he's
comes
very
to.
tall though. He's very tall. So
No, I'm
And
talking
very
about
physical.
space. I'm talking about space. It's not even the height problem. It's about space. When you're playing a low block, there is no space. There's when you have like four banks of the defenders, then you have your midfielders, and like when we played Wolf, only one player was outside. The remaining 9 players were behind the ball.
That is
I've
why I
never
said
seen Haaland in
that is
that
the
kind
reason
of
I said I
situation.
would prefer Osimhen in that situation because as Osimhen is very physical player, physical number 9 who can bring in defender out.
Abdullah
He
is
can hold
because
on
he's
to the ball.
Nigerian. Abdullah,
I,
me, I'm Nigerian too,
I'm
but I
Nigerian.
cannot
I watched
believe
Osimhen very well. That's
I
what I'm
cannot
but
saying.
believe Osimhen is better
realistically, I
than
don't think
Amiable.
Napoli is gonna sell Osimhen, bro. Realistically, the only way I see
Osimhen
you
is not
sell
even there.
Osimhen,
We should,
and
we should do
Osimhen is
we should
22.
do replacements. Abraham to Napoli, Osimhen to Chelsea. That would be
No,
good.
I would never take that. I would never. Abraham is used to English football. Abraham has 20 or 20 something goals in 30 something appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Stats. He has good stats. I'm not saying he's a world class player. I think we need a world class striker, but people need to remember that even when we won the Champions League, we had a Solomon Kalou. We had players like that. You need those kind of players too. People that okay, if your main striker is not doing it, the
Mm-hmm.
level
Yeah,
doesn't go
like
down.
Fernando Torres.
But do you
Exactly.
exactly? But do you know Drogba has been carrying us in 2004 till 2012? He's been the most potent number 9 we had in Chelsea. No one, even Anelka came in, he can't replace Drogba. Torres came in, he can't. Shevchenko came in, no one can. They didn't find a way to replace Drogba.
Exactly. So
They
and you
didn't.
think Osimhen would do it. That's why I'm saying
Yeah,
people that want
the reason I
tangible.
said I'll prefer
Nigeria,
Osimhen than Abraham is because
Nigeria. That's all.
no, it's not Nigerian. This is what people doesn't understand. Yes, the star doesn't lie. Abraham is in terms of that, but Chelsea is different than other clubs. In Chelsea, there's level, and when I look at the number 9, there's a difference between the forward and the number 9. As a defender, me as a defender, if I'm playing football, because I play football, I play more as a DM, not as a central back. As a defender, as a number 5 or number 6, I would love to play with Abraham because I know physicality he doesn't have it. I can bamboozle him out of the team. Just throw him out of the way. He will get out. I can't bamboozle Osimhen here because he has that physicality of number 9 in, and it will make you run as a defender. You will make when you have a pacing number 9, you don't want to play with him because you know this guy is there. He can shoot anywhere. So you know I don't want to face this guy. I'd rather be careful in marking him than play with Abraham because when no one that play with Abraham, I can isolate him out of the game. That's the difference between when you have a number 9 and a central forward.
But you see Gabriel Jesus. Do you see Gabriel Jesus? I think Gabriel
Mm-hmm.
Jesus in a Madrid would tear up that league. I think Gabriel Jesus actually in another league would play much better than he's playing in this Man City team. Because I do feel he's underperforming when it comes to goals. And that's the thing you have
Mm-hmm.
to understand with this Premier League. There
Mm-hmm.
is no space. That's why sometimes I prefer watching Spanish football, watching La Liga football, because
Mm-hmm.
English football is no more entertaining. It's just about results.
Pack the
Even
boss.
like seriously, it's not entertainment anymore. It's just okay. You when you play Wolves, Wolves come to the match to draw the game.
To draw.
That's their objective. They do not come
It's
to
true.
win it.
Bro,
They're
you
not
know
winning anything.
what's sick
That
about
thing
it?
pissed me off, man.
You know what's sick about it? Because that remind me.
Can I say something?
Wait,
Let me say
hold up,
something on my
beautiful.
Wolves.
Hold up.
Hold on, hold on.
What I
Mm-hmm.
was
I'm
gonna
cool.
say,
I'm
I don't.
cool. It's cool.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. But I don't know. I don't know what game was it. There was this Real Madrid game. I don't know when was it, bro. Like literally, the team that we're going against with 10 men down. You wouldn't even think they were 10 men down. They were still attacking us, trying to win the game, bro.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true though. When you watch like a team like a Burnley or Wolf, like they just get come to your house and get a draw and get because you know what game we were at? That Newcastle game, Chelsea versus Newcastle last season. I remember you guys absolutely battered Newcastle that game. They had a one corner kick that game when they scored that last minute goal on the corner kick. These
Exactly.
guys popped the buzz the entire game. They get that one corner kick, they score, and they win. And the commentators say, "What an entertainment game that was! This is why I love the Premier League."
That was where my argument comes in about Abraham and Osimhen, because people may argue that people may have this scenario of saying yes, the star doesn't like. I get that he can score these goals, but when you look at if you compare Abraham and Osimhen together and put them together, as a number 9, you go for Osimhen rather than go for Abraham because you know, as a number 9, as a defender, you wouldn't want to play with him because he's very physical and he's very fast. But Abraham, you can easily play with Abraham because you know if you just nudge him out of the way, he will get out. He will just fall down. So in terms of physical, he's been playing in EPL now for like how many seasons now? 2 seasons now. He needs to build himself more as a number 9 because people see him more as a Drogba replacement. You can't be like a Drogba replacement and you can't have that kind of ability as when those ability Drogba has in his years, in his peak. You can't have it. You can't be a number. You can't stay long in Chelsea. You cannot.
But the problem with
Can
that,
I follow
Abdullah.
this?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
It's core. It's
My
core.
bad.
For
Go,
Christ's
go,
sake.
go, go, go.
Oh, it was core. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. Is Montar here? Is Montar
I
I
here?
think
think
Montana left. I think he left. He may possibly come back.
Oh, he
I
left.
think he just.
Anyways,
Mike is probably on mute.
yeah.
Oh, his mic is muted. Okay.
Anyways, bro, so Upamecano, yo. Upamecano, man. We got Upamecano. And I think now Neuhaus is next, and I think Kramaric is next. I don't think we should get Haaland, to be honest. I'm not feeling getting Haaland. So yeah,
So
man.
who's
I
the
think
Lewandowski
if we get
replacement?
The problem with that BD me and we're always talking about it. Look at world football now. Realistically, bro, there's really not that many good number 9s right now in world football. It's just how it is. Because realistically,
that's true.
the best number 9 in the world, they're all old men. Benzema, Lewandowski, Suarez, Firmino.
The
Like they're
next
all old
in the
heads.
next 5 years they
Immobile.
won't be playing.
Because that's what Sammy's
That's
saying. Give
true.
Abraham time. He's still young.
Mm-hmm.
But who would you want at a Haaland replacement since you don't want Haaland at Bayern Munich?
I want Kramaric. The reason why I want Kramaric is because Kramaric has shown in so many big like Bundesliga games and also in Europe games that like he's a world class striker. You see what I'm trying to say? And I think he'd be much of like an upgrade
Is it
on a
the guy
Chouameni.
in Offer? Is it the guy in Offerham? Is he Offerham?
Yes, the guy at Hoffenheim. He's much cheaper than Haaland, and I think he's a much more quality striker than Haaland. I think
What?
in big games, like he can perform.
Bro,
Yeah, he's
bro,
really, really
Haaland was
good.
insane
Bundesliga.
for
That
You have
Dortmund
to
last
say
season in the
Haaland.
Champions League, bro. He was insane. Bro, Haaland, you
Yeah,
guarantee 30 goals a season with Haaland, bro.
In
In
the
your team, bro.
Bundesliga, I
Yes,
agree with
yes.
you.
no,
In the
but Wilton,
Bundesliga,
the
for
thing
sure.
about Haaland is Haaland, right, is a bit overrated. In these games where, like, for example, when you're playing against a Mainz and you need a goal, I expect you to take those chances and score them. You know what I'm trying to say? He's
But you know that
struggling
his
against these
teammates,
teams, against
but
FC
his
Cologne.
teammates are not the best. His
Yes,
teammates are not the
it's
best.
his teammates. And the thing about Haaland is, if Bayern was gonna buy him, would have to pay 100 million for him, and I just don't think that's necessary
They're probably
because we
gonna
got
wait till his
Upamecano for
contract
forty-two.
his contract is over, then buy
Wait,
him like
so
they would do with
do you
Lewandowski.
do you think Kramaric or
No,
what was his name again? Do you think he can replace Lewandowski?
That's what I'm saying, bro. With
It's
Haaland,
not about even
I
it's not
think the reason why I'm saying I think he can replace him is because I've seen so many big games where this guy has performed, and like in Bayern, right? If you want players who can perform in the big stage and in the big games, Kramaric is that type of guy.
does
He's
he
that
play
type of
Champions
player.
League? Has he played Champions League?
that's what I was
He,
about to
he
say too.
hasn't played. He hasn't played Champions League, but if you surround him with good players, if he's around good players and surround him with them, he'll be a very, very good striker.
Do you think
Guaranteed.
he's
You know
This is the
Haaland
problem.
Haaland was the second top scorer in the Champions League last season, right?
Yeah, he is.
Lewandowski, don't even you obviously Lewandowski's gonna be the top scorer, but Haaland was the top scorer in the Champions. He showed up against PSG. His
He
teammate
did.
didn't show up.
Mhm.
he was the man at
Showed up
PSG.
against
He
PSG.
destroyed
He
them.
showed up against PSG, but there's no way we're gonna get Haaland because I just think he's Real Madrid bound. He's a Real Madrid player. There's no way
Okay,
we're gonna
That's
get
good, bro. That's good, bro.
him
That's
off
okay,
of
good.
Real
but
Madrid.
you're saying this now because of money and you think he's not gonna want to come. But if we remove those two
Mhm,
things and you put that
mhm,
guy you just called Kramaric or what's his name and Haaland, who would you
mhm.
take?
Of course, I will go for
Oh, for
Haaland,
me,
man.
I would take Haaland,
Okay.
but the
Okay. Then
cheaper option is Kramaric. You
okay.
see,
Yeah.
the cheaper option is Kramaric because you don't have to pay 100 and something for him.
I
But
think,
for
guys, I
Haaland,
understand what Koi is saying because they wanted to get Kai Havertz also too, but they don't want to pay the money Leverkusen wanted for Kai Havertz. That was the reason they pull out.
exactly,
I can
exactly.
go for him. That was the reason they pull out for Kai Havertz because Chelsea were willing to pay the money. They were willing to do all this stress. Bayern was
We
like, we
didn't
don't
go
ready
for
for this
that.
stress. We're not ready
Look,
for this
bro,
stress.
look how much we paid for Upamecano. 42.5 million, bro. Like that's really, really cheap. You know,
Release
that's why I'm
clause.
saying
Yeah.
like a player like
I can
Kramaric,
understand why he
he's
said they can't
probably
go for Erling Haaland. I can understand that. I can understand why he said that.
yeah, a player like Kramaric, he's probably like 25 mil or something like that. He's really cheap. He could be a really good backup to Lewandowski. You know,
No, you're
I
saying
think we
backup.
should go
I'm
for it.
talking about replacement.
Replacement,
That's
not
the thing.
backup.
You're
Replacement.
talking about backup.
Someone that can replace him, that
Oh,
can score like in a season 20, 30, 35 goals in a season.
no, no, no. The thing is, if you want a replacement, then yes, you get Haaland, but we don't have 100 million to get Haaland. That's the thing. You
No,
see, that
like I
is what
said,
I'm saying.
I feel like you guys gonna
Mhm.
do exactly what you guys did with Lewandowski. You're gonna wait till Haaland last on his
Mhm.
last on his contract and get him for free. That's what Bayern do.
Exactly.
You guys
Oh
get him
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
single
I think
team in
that's
the
what we do.
Bundesliga.
Vilton, that
I
is the
think
reason
that's
I
the best
said.
option.
That is the reason I said if Chelsea act fast this summer, they could probably. I know in the 2022 it will cost like 66. Woman want to pay 120 now or 150 now to get Haaland and wait in the 2022.
Wait,
I can
you
guarantee
think
you that.
Chelsea still gonna spend money over
Yeah,
Haaland?
Chelsea want
You
to
guys
spend
spend
money on
over that
Haaland.
number, bro?
Yeah, they want to buy Haaland. They want to go for Haaland. Roman said they want to buy Haaland.
I don't really trust that news, but I do think Haaland is that. I think they would wait for his release clause and hopefully try to persuade
I
him. That
think so.
hundred and
Yeah, yeah.
something, I don't think so. But
Because I
for
wouldn't
you,
pay
Koi,
120 million for Haaland, to be honest with you. I want him at Madrid, but
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
120 million, you are an established player. Haaland is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, fantastic talent.
But is he
But he's not
established enough?
he's not established yet.
And
Because I
Wilton,
paid that
look
much
at
money
this.
for
Mhm.
like a
So you are
Cristiano
expecting too
Ronaldo
much for him. You are
Messi. Yeah.
expecting if you pay that kind of money for him,
Yeah,
you're expecting at least a
I'm
season.
expecting the Champions League, bro. I'm expecting the Champions League in 2-3 years, bro. If I'm paying that kind of money, no, I mean serious. Let's be real,
Yeah,
because
that's
that's
true.
why
It's true. It's
when
true.
we bought Hazard for that much money, that's why I'm like, what is this, bro? Like, did we buy
That's
this for
my
60
exactly
million, bro?
that's my worry with the Chelsea board. I can understand they want to get a proven goal scorer because I think Tuchel said they want someone that will back up Timo Werner in terms of goal scorer. Olivier Giroud is leaving in summer. That's why I said the ideal striker at my head right now is Alan and is
no,
in form.
for me, the ideal striker is Harry Kane. If
But I don't think Chelsea will
Tottenham,
go for Harry Kane. I do
no,
not
no,
think so.
no, wait. If Tottenham don't win any trophy, I
Mm-hmm.
swear we can get Harry Kane because he'll
Harry Kane
shut
is 200. I can
Bro,
guarantee you.
you're making so
Tottenham
much
Hotspur
money.
will say 200.
You know, by the way, right? We actually offer Harry Kane a contract to come, but
Mm-hmm.
he'd stay with Spurs because for the money. Because Spurs
Mm-hmm.
are paying him almost $300,000. But it's
Yes.
funny, he regretted it now because he see he's not gonna win anything
No,
with Spurs.
but I think now, especially after this season, I think he will leave Spurs, and I think he
Yeah.
might even push a move
Where do you
to
think he
leave
would
them.
go realistically?
He will realistically, I think Man City. If I was him, I would go to Man City
No
or
way. No
Madrid.
way.
I would go to
No
Man
way.
City or Madrid.
Manchester City. Because
Yeah, because of
City are
Aguero.
after Haaland too, and City,
Mm-hmm.
Because of Aguero, or I
That's why I
would.
said. That's why I said
you
this
don't
summer.
think
This summer is gonna be difficult
you
because
don't think
Chelsea want to
Jesus,
spend money.
you don't think Jesus could be City next big striker?
Who?
Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus.
I rate Jesus, but I just
Because if you get Jesus
I
and
think
well,
he needs more years. My
but
problem
then
with Jesus is I think he needs like three. I think
I
he's in the
think
same
this
bracket
season
with
is.
Tammy Abraham.
but then again, I forgot it's Pep Guardiola
I
because
think.
there's no such thing as a big. You know, when you like Liverpool, Klopp doesn't really like buying a lot of players in the same position. But for
Mm-hmm.
Pep, there's no such thing as a big team. He loves rotating anyway, so
Exactly.
Kane will perfectly fit in
I
that
No, I'm
think.
space.
I
telling you.
think this season. I
That
think
is why I
this
said.
season, City needs to win the Champions League. City has to because every team is weak. I mean, we're weak. This is their best chance to win Champions League. You know.
Ah, bro,
Yeah,
you can't say
let's
that.
say they have
You still have
Aguero.
Atletico. You
This
still
is
have
their best
Bayern.
chance.
You still have PSG that were in the final last season. You can't just. I don't. I'm
Yeah,
not. Obviously, it's an easier path, but
That we'll talk about the Champions. I just want to have a
Abdullah, what do you
conversation.
think of Harry Kane? Imagine Harry Kane in Chelsea.
Harry Kane, but the problem is this Chelsea I know will not pay that money. Chelsea will rather spend money on Haaland than buying Harry Kane. That's Chelsea I know. Chelsea will not go for the saver option of 20 some. Chelsea will rather say we want the
How
future.
old is Harry Kane? How old is
Harry
Harry
Kane is
Kane?
it will be 29. It will be 29.
wait. Oh,
It's
I
28
don't think
already.
so. Really?
It's 28.
Oh, Harry
Harry
Kane
Kane
is
is 28.
He
27,
wasted his
28.
career, man. Should have
Yes,
vexed for a long
27.
time.
Harry
Oh,
Kane
he's
is
it's 27.
27.
It's 27.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's gonna be
pretty
Harry
good.
Kane
28.
is not old. Harry Kane
Yeah,
is
It's
he's
not
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 old.
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 Like,
Yeah, 27.
I'm
That's
telling
you're
you,
in your prime.
Harry
Yeah.
Kane is worth 120 million.
Tottenham said, you know what Tottenham said? He said that if they want to sell Harry Kane out, they want to sell him 200.
200. Wow.
Yeah, who wants to pay 200 for Harry Kane? Who?
If Harry Kane pushes for a
No,
transfer,
no.
no,
Do you think
no, no,
Roman is mad? He will pay 200 for Harry Kane. He will never do
no,
it.
of course not. But I feel Harry Kane will push for a transfer if they don't win anything.
Yeah, if he
I
push
feel
for
it.
transfer, how much do you think Tottenham will sell him if he push for transfer? How
If he
much?
push for a transfer, they'll sell him for 120 or 100. It's they will
That's
do that.
crazy, bro. Kane should have left.
That's almost what they did with Modric because Modric wanted to leave there. They didn't want to sell him, but Modric really wanted to leave, and then later they sold him for I think 30 or 40.
I hope Son leaves too. Son needs to leave that team too, bro. If they're not
Exactly.
gonna win anything.
No, those players will leave. Harry Kane is 27. He's looking at
He's
he's
27.
looking at the time. He knows if he doesn't win anything this season, he has to leave that
He
place.
has to
And
leave.
The
That's
only
why I
he's
trophy
saying
said
right now,
they have
as
two
the
trophies
elite
they're
striker.
fighting for. They have the Carabao Cup, then the final, and they have the Europa League. I don't know if
Yeah,
they could make a push in Europa League.
I think
I
they
don't
could
think
win
so.
both. They could win both because
I
that
don't.
Carabao Cup,
You see
Man
that
City
Europa
is
League?
not
There are
giving
so
chance.
many teams that can win that Europa League ahead of Tottenham. So many teams.
Yeah, you have Ajax, AC Milan,
AC Milan. AC Milan is in form. So I can't write.
Manchester United. You
United
have a
is
lot of
there.
teams.
You have
So,
Arsenal even. Arsenal could do
Even
something. You
Arsenal. I
have
forgot about Arsenal.
so a lot of teams are there. Tottenham is in deep mess at the
No, but
moment.
Tottenham can win it. Tottenham have the squad to win the
They have
Europa
the
League.
squad, but do they have the mentality? No.
They have the
But they
coach
have the
that they have
coach.
the coach that's
Exactly.
They
the
have the coach.
mentality. But
They
Exactly.
have the coach.
I
That
don't
no, see, they have the coach who has the mentality of winning, but do the player have that mentality? No. That's it.
No,
Basically no.
but you know that this League Cup that is coming up, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Man City fans shouldn't think they've won it.
The
Because
only
I'm
Yes.
thing
telling
I
you,
fear for Spurs,
Mourinho can destroy that party for them.
I
If
can't
there's
wait for
one
Yes.
that game.
person that can do
They
that,
play Spurs tomorrow, right? Yeah, they
Yeah, they
play
play
Spurs.
tomorrow and
yes.
they play in April. They
But
play
my
in
only
April.
thing for Spurs is that if Son or Kenny's not there, if one of them is just not there, the team is useless. The
Sammy,
team,
the reason I say Chelsea will not go for Harry Kane is probably one is because one Chelsea look at the age and Chelsea are looking for a long time. Chelsea are not looking for short time. They know I know Harry Kane is 27, he's going to 28. Get perfect age for us to buy him. I can tell you one thing. Chelsea board, as long as Marina Granaskia is there, and Roman is owner of Chelsea Football Club, they will spend 120 million or 150 million on Ellen Ireland than buying Harry Kane. I can guarantee you that. That is
No,
Chelsea I know.
but let me tell you something too, man.
Mm-hmm.
This if Harry Kane says he wants to leave Tottenham and the only club that is showing interest is Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Chelsea will really show interest? I think United will
Yes.
show interest in him.
N-
United will
See,
show
any
interest.
club will want Harry Kane. We're just talking about the fact that there are no more strikers. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
real. There is no elite striker that you can get, even if you have the money for. Harry
Yeah,
Kane is
that's true.
actually the only one that might leave based
Mm-hmm.
on the fact that he hasn't won anything in his club. Even not, he wouldn't even want to leave
He wants to
because
leave.
actually he's playing
because
well in that club.
like attacking
He's
player in
performing well.
football now, it's so precious now, bro. Because
Exactly.
you always gonna find defenders in CDM. Well, it's not maybe not CDM, but you always gonna find defenders and go.
But this is
But
Sammy,
like
you make a very good point. Very good point is if you buy Harry Kane now, how do you partner Harry Kane with Timo Werner together?
See, at the end, he will make space because what Chelsea need is a 20-30 goal striker. That's
Striker,
all we
yes.
need. We do not have that. And until we have that, we can't go far in the league or go far in the Champions League. That's
Yes.
for sure.
But
And the same thing,
Alan can guarantee that in a season
no,
because he's a
that's the
proven goal
thing.
scorer.
Haaland cannot guarantee that. Harry Kane can guarantee that because he has played in the Premier League for
that
his
is
whole
true.
life. If you are betting right now and say who is more likely to come to Chelsea and perform between Haaland and Harry Kane, you can't even
Hurricane,
say
Hurricane,
Harry
Hurricane.
Kane for sure.
It,
Hurricane.
and I feel like Harry Kane's the type of player that can play. And for striker too, what I like about Harry Kane, he's very good on the ball. Cause
Very,
Exactly.
striker,
very good.
cause
Yes.
striker now these days, bro, they are not that good on the ball, bro. They just know how to score goals. They don't know how to beat 1v1. Cause to be honest with you,
But I won't lie. Hurricane is a very when you call it a complete proven number 9. Is
because
Hurricane.
he is because
But he's
I'm
underrated.
pretty
That's
sure
the problem. He's
he
been
has the most
underrated.
goals for Spurs, I think, or the most assists. He leading in both categories for
And
Spurs.
even when
Yeah.
you see him play for England, he's still that lethal. It's not like it switches up. I would
Yeah.
say actually Harry Kane in Madrid would be crazy because
Mm-hmm.
it's just that Benzema is there. But
Yeah, we
if there was
wanted
no
him, but he
Benzema,
didn't want to
if
leave. He
Harry
stayed
Kane
for
is
the
there,
money.
I think
Mm-hmm.
they could go for Champions League.
So
It's just
okay,
that
let's put it this way now. Let's put it this way. Okay. Let's make this scenario. This coming summer now, I know Chelsea want a number 9. Who do we go for? Harry Kane or Erling Haaland? Let me come to Vilton. If you're a Roman and you're Varane and you're thinking of getting a number 9, Giroud is leaving, and you want a partnership with Timo Werner, who do you go for?
Me,
Haaland 20, Harry Kane 27.
if you want an established striker, if you want to win Premier League right now, you get Harry
Mm-hmm.
Kane. You get Harry Kane, or you might even win a Champions League with him. Because again, I love Haaland, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Haaland is established. Like, yes, he's fantastic. I'm not gonna deny what he did last season. He was a second top scorer in the Champions League. He obviously he's playing for Dortmund. He's a goal scoring machine. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
is he established? Because Harry Kane, you know what Harry Kane? Because Harry Kane have been doing it for a while. So is Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
Because Haaland been a monster for scoring goals. But
Yep.
again, me, if that was me, I would go for Haaland because I like the. I don't like even when I play FIFA career mode, I like
Mm-hmm.
buying the young players instead. I like preparing for the future. But if you and Harry Kane
Mm-hmm.
now, they both a fantastic striker. But if you Chelsea, I would go for an Harry Kane. The way that I see your squad is because you
Mm-hmm.
need a player like Harry Kane, maybe that can help Werner link up and play. Maybe he
The
can help
same way, the same way
play,
Son
play
and
yeah,
Kane. The same
Son
way.
and them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you Chelsea, I would go for an Harry Kane. But if you get Haaland instead, it's also a fantastic choice.
So Simon, who do you go for? Harry Kane or Erling Haaland?
for sure, for sure I would go for Harry Kane because just as he said, if we want to win now, I think Harry Kane is the profile striker we need because as much as people don't rate Tammy Abraham, I think if Tammy Abraham is learning off Harry Kane and
Mm-hmm.
actually that's one thing that Spurs don't have is that if he comes to Chelsea, he won't be playing week in, week out. He would actually be rested sometimes because he has
Yes.
somebody like Tammy that can fill in. Because Spurs, most of the time, they don't have strikers that can fill in. But
Mm-hmm.
seriously, if it's not like I won't be mad for Haaland, but fact is, I wouldn't be overhyped if we sign Haaland because I would want to first see him play in the Premier
Play,
League.
perform,
Because
show
I
how
have
good he is.
exactly because this Havertz one, I was hyped for Havertz, like
I was that me,
extremely.
me, 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 me. I was
See, I told you guys
circumcised on
so
Twitter.
because again, this is what I was trying to tell you guys. Havertz
Mm-hmm.
had a fantastic season with Bayern Leverkusen, but the problem is he's not an established world class player. But this
Yes.
is the sick thing because this is the problem with full football. Again, just like Hazard's an established player, he's an established world class player.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the fee that you guys pay for Havertz. If you don't know anything about football, you see a team buy a player for that much money, you think he's a fantastic player. But in true, Havertz hasn't fully developed yet. He's still young.
Exactly.
He's only what
That is my
21, right?
exact. Yes, when that's my problem with Erling Haaland. I can understand what Sammy is saying because my pros and my cons about Haaland is what if that is it? Big Chelsea have done it before in past. Shevchenko flop. Fernando Torres, hey. Kezman, hey. I can mention some players where we spent bigger money, 50 million, 70 million. It was I don't want to mention them. It was just that's how I can put it.
Thank God for
My
God
problem
started
is
help us.
getting Alan now. What if we get Alan and the flop? My Lord in heaven. I don't want to show up in Twitter.
He's
I don't
still
want to
young
show
though.
up.
That's the thing though, Abdullah. He's young.
He's 20. I know he's young, but do you know how much abuse Alan will get? Firstly, Chelsea paying that money first, and the flop is second because now we pay too much money for a player who, for me, highly rated, very, very well. But is he established enough? No.
Yeah, that's why I
No.
hope because my fear is this summer if we do spend,
Mhm.
because I'm afraid that we might make Highland the next Galaxico, and I hope we
Yeah.
don't go overboard and buy because no offense, Highland, you're not $100 million yet. For me to spend $100 million on you, you have to be established. Like you have to guarantee me trophy, bro. You have to be a
Mhm.
guaranteed
Yeah.
trophy.
And
Because
But
Haaland is
even
fantastic. He could score goals. Don't get me wrong. Haaland is a fantastic player. But again, goals are just your stats. That's not the yeah, it helps the team. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, Haaland, are you gonna be there to help the team win the champions? Are you gonna score in those clutch goals? Or are you gonna be there to help us win La Liga and stuff like that? He's a
Mhm.
fantastic player. He's the future of football. You because I'm trying to look in his position. There's really not that many young. Maybe we don't know them. Maybe they're playing for some rubbish team. But
Mhm.
right now, at this moment, Haaland is the
there's no
only
one.
clear
Yeah.
number, and Jesus, but Jesus isn't really young anymore. How old is Jesus?
But Vilton and Sammy, this is the problem of we getting Harry Kane. Harry Kane is an England captain and is the number 9 for England. I don't want Chelsea to be embodied, this become embodiment with this English blash, English
No,
rubbish.
I
Mason
don't
Mount
mind
from
everyone honestly.
Mason Mount's
I don't
actually a
mind
good player,
everyone
though.
Mason Mount
saying
is good, but the problem with this English media is now that we get Harry Kane as Chelsea now, he will not become the greatest striker in world football, better than Lewandowski. And I don't want that. I don't want. I my club.
But
I don't want it. I
but
don't.
it who cares what the media thinks? As long as he performs and wins,
I
who
don't
cares what
care.
the
But
media
exactly.
some
thinks?
people cares.
Exactly.
Some people will say he's better than Lewandowski. People will bring it. It's an argument. They'll bring it out. So that English media.
But everybody has their own opinion because it's every country. I just
No,
think
but if you
maybe
look at Harry Kane's stats this year,
Mhm.
especially his assists, it's a little bit crazy. Seriously, the amount of goals and assists he's giving,
That guy's.
it's impressive.
because
Seriously.
I asked myself. I'm
I think
asking myself, is Harry Kane in number 9 or in number 10? I don't know.
because I think every country has their own biases. When you look at
Yeah.
Mhm.
France, Mbappe hasn't been performing that well, but you don't hear the French media kill him. But when
Yeah.
Neymar does
Yeah.
something wrong, they kill him on the French media.
Yes,
In
yes.
Mhm.
Spain, when Ramos could do anything, the media is not. I know Ramos is a legend, of course, fantastic
Mhm.
player, one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest center back of all time, and like
Lucifer Ramos is
do
good for me.
anything. He's not really gonna do anything. But when a player like
Mhm.
a Varane or a Marcelo do anything wrong, they're gonna get abused. I think it's
Mhm.
all every country has their own bias. Maybe England is a bit much because when that's why I'm afraid for Odegaard. Odegaard went to Arsenal. I'm afraid that Arsenal fans think Odegaard is this second coming of Iniesta or Tony
Mhm.
Kroos. That the moment he doesn't perform bad, the English media is gonna tear him
They
apart.
bash him. That
Yeah.
that is the same problem I don't want for Harry Kane because I know Harry Kane is a number 9, is a captain of England. Yes, but if Harry Kane have a slip up in his career in Chelsea, be like, the manager is not good enough. Is he the right manager to coach Harry Kane? Look at Pochettino. That that is what this is England. I know this how this kind of stuff work. There's a in
But the thing is, they will do this for Haaland too because of how Haaland is
Yes,
sorted.
but
but
Alang is young. They will give him a leeway because he's young. If he get a leeway, he's
Yeah.
young. He will get leeway. Harry Kane will not get leeway because they know this guy has been performing for how many seasons now? For 5 or 6 consecutive seasons.
Abdullahi, but
I
I
like the fact you brought this up because there is a possibility that Harry Kane will come to Chelsea and flop because
Yes, yes.
strikers have done that. There's a
Mm-hmm.
possibility, but it is very low just
Very
But
because
low.
here's the thing, Abdullahi.
Mm-hmm.
I see, I understand what you guys are saying about the English media and
Mm-hmm.
how because Harry Kane is the English captain, all that stuff. But then the reality of the matter is that no matter how biased the English media is, the
Mm-hmm.
one thing they cannot be biased towards is success. And you can even like I'll give you like a prime example is Manchester City. A lot of Manchester City players, Kevin De Bruyne, he is not English, and the English media love Kevin De Bruyne. And
Mm-hmm.
so the thing is, at the end of the day, success. Because let's be honest, the English media, one of the narratives they have is the English football is the best in the world. Let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest, guys. They think this is the best league in the world. And if you think about it, Pep Guardiola just proved that, hold on, this guy came from Bayern Munich. One season he just came in the first season, he finished fourth. And after that,
he won what you call it, a domestic trouble, and
Mm-hmm.
then he won his league by 100 points. The year
Mm-hmm.
after that, he won the league by 98 points.
98 points. Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, like, the English media bias is always going to be there, but the one thing they cannot help is success. So, in my opinion, if Harry Kane goes to Chelsea and he fails, of course they're gonna have Harry Kane's back because he's English. That's what they're always gonna do. And then you have to be ludicrous to think that they're gonna think otherwise. But then if Harry Kane does succeed, that's something they cannot do. And so if I mean it gets to a point where, like, if Harry Kane is not good enough, Abramovich in Chelsea, they don't care. They're gonna get rid of him, and they're gonna bring another person. They're gonna get for it. They're gonna get hated for it. But at the end of the day,
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, side. That is why I said I would rather go for Ireland, because the reason I said we'll go for Ireland at the Chelsea in Chelsea, like I'm seeing Chelsea right now, because I believe Chelsea won't go for Harry Kane. They will not. I can guarantee you that.
If Harry Kane
Chelsea
is
won't.
available,
but here's the
if
thing
he says
about
he
it.
wants to go out,
But here's the thing, guys, and then Harry Kane could be like his own subject. At
Mhm.
what point does Harry Kane wants to become relevant in football? Because right now, as great as he is, as great as his assist is, is he's playing at Tottenham. I mean, unfortunately, at Tottenham, I don't know if anyone here disagrees with me. If they do, you guys can come. I don't see Tottenham ever doing anything big. I don't see them winning a Premier League. I don't see them winning Champions League. I don't see them being considered one of the best teams in of whatever. So for Harry Kane, I will want to move. So if he makes a move to Chelsea, I mean, no matter what like, the English media can say about you, as a player yourself, you need to be like, hey, this is my career. I mean, the English media can gloss over it. At the end of the day, years later, we look at the record sheets, we see that this guy has not done anything in English football other than score goals. And it's a whole argument between he will be basically another Alan Shearer. The one thing that Alan Shearer would have to his name is that Premier League title he won with I think it's Blackpool.
Newcastle,
Newcastle, I
No, no,
think.
no, he didn't win in Newcastle.
Oh,
He left.
it was Blackpool then. No,
Blackburn.
Blackburn.
That's
I
what
think.
he's
It
gonna
was
have to his
Blackburn.
name.
Blackburn.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna have to his name. What is Harry Kane gonna have to his name?
Even
Oh,
Vardy has a Premier League.
runner up,
Even
runner
Vardy
up,
has
runner
Vardy
up
has a
Champions League
Premier
medal,
League.
man. Runner up Champions League medal.
Chelsea and he flops. I mean, what is he gonna say? You know what I mean? So that the English media can say whatever they want. They even tried the nonsense with the whole Bell situation where Zidane has taught everyone that would literally have any ears and have any brain that this guy is not interested in football anymore. But the English media took Bell's side and said, "Oh, why is Zidane treating Bell like this?" Comes to
And
Tottenham,
he's finished. He's
he came
finished too.
back. He came back to his club. Dude, oh, Bell is gonna do this. Oh, Bell's gonna do that. And now this whole person coming out and saying, why is Mourinho treating Bell like this? And my brain, I'm like, bro, Zidane told you this guy is not interested in football. So why are you guys forcing him to play football? Basically? So
But guys, can you guys see maybe Harry Kane going to maybe can you guys see him going to PSG because of Pochettino?
It's possible.
It's
If eventually he
possible
wants to leave.
My own is I
because
know if they
because
don't win anything, he will hand in a transfer request.
because let's
I'm
be real.
sure of that. If
He,
they don't win anything, he will do that.
he has to leave.
he has to leave. He has to leave. He's way too good. See, this is what I love about football. If you want to be considered one of the greats, you go to a big. I
Yeah.
know. Don't get me wrong. I'm an underdog merchant too. I love when the underdog win. But the
Mhm.
beauty about football is that you have the option. If you're really good enough, a big club's gonna eventually come for you and buy you, and you have
Mhm.
that option. Do you want to go for greatness, or do you want to just stay at a medium club and just make football your money, just make money, and
Club
you're okay with
legend.
it? Or you want to
Because
be a club legend? Yeah.
the issue is before Harry Kane has been in Tottenham Hotspur for so how many years now? I think 6 years or 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. So now he wants to make a switch. He will likely want to leave England.
Remember, we offered him a contract, bro. He didn't want to
I
leave. He
know.
stayed for the money.
It wouldn't see. This is the problem. Harry Kane will not want to go to Chelsea because it's an arch rival. I can tell you that that's an arch
Worst
rival.
things have happened, bro. I'm telling you,
I
worst
know.
things have happened than
I
him going to
know.
Chelsea.
I
But
know.
I get what you're saying, Sha. It's
I
very
know. It's an
unlikely.
arch rival. That's why I said Chelsea will not pay the money for Harry Kane because they know the kind of Tottenham Hotspur, the rivalry between them. They won't
No,
pay that
no,
money.
Abdullah, this is why I don't agree with you. What I feel is either Harry Kane doesn't want to come to Chelsea because of his respect for Tottenham. But I feel
Yes.
if Harry Kane tells that, okay, I don't mind going to Chelsea, I'm 100% sure those Abramovich will cough up whatever
Daniel
money.
Levy. Modric wanted to come to Chelsea. Daniel Levy
Yes,
blocked it.
I know.
Danny Levy
So
blocked it. Modric literally came out and said,
that's
I
very
want to
true.
go to Chelsea. He said
That's
it, I
very
want to go to Chelsea. But Danny Levy said, no. I would rather sell you to Madrid for 30 million than rather sell 50 million, 60 million to Chelsea. Because
yes,
that's the arch rival. That's what I'm saying about a rivalry.
that was a very painful transfer. I wanted
Yes,
Modric so badly, but
exactly. That's
it
what I
never
said.
went.
If I can tell Daniel Levy today, I want to go to Chelsea, Daniel Levy said no. He will tell you no. But if Madrid bring 70 million, Daniel Levy will tell you, I will accept 70 million right now from Madrid, go to Madrid.
But the thing is that COVID too has affected. If Chelsea
Yeah,
is the only
that's the
team
other
that can
thing.
pay that,
Yeah, but
seriously, he will do it. Because if you look, Berbatov went to United.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like even quite all right. The Arsenal guy, he was on free, so I don't think they had that much power. But
Olivier
I
Giroud.
do feel no, not Giroud, Sol Campbell when he left Tottenham to Arsenal.
Yeah,
But like
Carson.
yeah, so I do feel that at the end, Sha, if we are the only club that wants to pay that money and Harry Kane needs
I
to
don't think we are the only club. I think United might want to go for Harry Kane because I don't
yes,
think United trust Antonio
yes,
Machia
yes,
or
yes.
what's called Edinson
And then
Cavani.
this yes,
But
yes, I
here's
So
the
agree with
the
both.
with United. I just read reports that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was talking about Holland. Ole
yes.
Gunnar Solskjaer really wants Holland. He really does because he with the whole connection with that he used to coach him at Molde, and
Mm-hmm.
he believe in that in
But the problem is, will you rather wait for Alan in 2 years or rather pay 120 for him now?
I mean, what is his release clause?
64 million, 64 million.
So I think if you give, because the thing is, you look at it, all has to do with Dortmund. If the super,
Because Alan is gonna leave by June 2022. He has a release clause of 64 million 2022. So if 25 clubs want to buy Alan now, Alan himself will decide where he wants to go. It depends on Alan himself. Like what Upamecano did. Upamecano already said, okay, Bayern brought money. Chelsea was like interested. Liverpool was like, I want to go to Bayern. He was the one who made the decision, not the club. It's a decision of Allah now. If it is 2022, Chelsea, United, everybody wants to. But Allah himself will sit down and decide with Mino Raiola, where do you think fits me to go? This is the club that is open for me. Now decide.
yeah, I see what you're saying. It is for me. I believe that because he has a release clause,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I believe he's gonna move this summer because I feel like what the clubs are gonna do is that they're gonna pay that extra money, some more
Mm-hmm.
more money than his release clause, and don't
Yes,
stupid not to take it.
because Dortmund already said if Dortmund doesn't make the Champions League, Haaland will leave. That's 100% guaranteed. He's going.
But then
If they
here's
don't,
the problem, though, guys. Like, the thing is, there's just so much things going on with Dortmund because not only is Holland leaving, but apparently this summer Sancho is leaving too.
Sancho's leaving, Gloriana is leaving, so many players are leaving in their club also. So
But
many.
that's the question,
Grant
though.
too, man.
Grant is leaving. Mm-hmm.
It's because of the pandemic and everything. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people got to spend the money wisely. And I mean, you look at Chelsea; they spent already 200 million last year.
Mm-hmm.
Would
And
they?
Roman still want to spend again. He wants to spend again.
I think he wants to spend again, but is it going to be expensive? Like, then is Chelsea
No,
maybe interested in a wing?
no, this is the problem because based on what I hear from Tuchel and what the reporter is saying, I think we'll probably go for 3 signings this summer. We'll sell a lot. I can guarantee you that we'll sell. We can see this because I'm hearing the news that Mauricio Sarri wants to go back to Inter Milan. He's gonna take over from Antonio Conte. That tells me Jorginho is leaving. Automatically is leaving. He has 2 more years in his contract. When the season finishes, he has 2 more years. So if Sarri take over Inter Milan, one player Sarri wants to buy is Jorginho. out of the door. It's gone. That's number one. Number two is Olivier Giroud is leaving for free. So we will need a replacement for Giroud, someone that will partnership Timo Werner. Now you have probably Harry Kane and probably Haaland. So now this is where Chelsea board comes in. I don't know if they don't use that brain. That's why we miss Emenalo because Emenalo is very sensible director of football. He knows what he's doing. That's why when he left, I was angry and pissed off because that is director of football we've been missing for many years. Now you have Marina who doesn't even understand football. He just kind of makes dumb decisions, and people call him the god of Chelsea Football Club. So
Because he sold Morata, that's why. It was a miracle.
So that kind of thing pissed me off because Marina is the one orchestrating Chelsea Football Club. She has no brain, no football brain. Now you bring in Czech in as the director of football. How many brains does Czech has? He has no experience. So that is where my problem is. If Giroud leave now, we're gonna go for a striker. That is 100% sure. And every name that has been appearing on the news, even the name has been told to Tuchel not more than 100 and twice. And in Haaland, he said, "I'm not gonna talk about Haaland because he's playing for other clubs."
But
Definitely
even
is
United,
dodging the question because he knows in his mind 100% sure that is his number one target.
Okay,
He
here's the
knows.
question though. I get what you're saying, but
Mm-hmm.
Erling Haaland, everybody wants him. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Man United's going to be in for him. He
but,
has
but
the
who,
Mm-hmm.
talent.
who will leave United for Haaland to come in?
I mean, it just comes from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he had he's always on he has an interview with this Norwegian news outlet, and the problem for United is either if we're gonna get a right winger, which will generally be Jadon Sancho, or are we gonna get a striker? And because United don't have a striker, our striker is Cavani. We tried
Yes, but
with
but
Martial.
will you sell Cavani for Haaland?
No,
No.
what happens is we probably keep Cavani for 1 year, and then we probably still buy Holland, and we'll play Holland, and we have Cavani as backup.
And you have Martial still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bashir.
I mean, Manchester United are not good at doing business, but I feel like
That's why I
Manchester.
said. That's why I said. Roman himself, Chelsea has that money to just tell Dortmund. Dortmund will give you 120, give us a land. Dortmund will not tell you no because Dortmund knows Chelsea wants to pay money. Chelsea has that money. They want to lavish that money out. They know.
United have
And
money
But
too,
that's
though.
if
But
Chelsea finish top four, though, right?
exactly,
mm-hmm.
exactly, because that's
So
not sure yet.
because if you guys don't
That's
finish
not
top four, I don't think Holland's going to leave to Chelsea.
I don't even
exactly.
think Varane will leave. To
Exactly.
come.
Exactly.
That guy's ruined.
This season is crazy, man. This season is so crazy. This summer is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Let's just end up this Alan stop and Kingdom because I want to go. I want to just talk. I want us to talk about the EPL preview and everything. So let me come to Sammy now. You hearing about I am striker coming into the summer? Who will you go for? Because I don't know. I don't even know if Chelsea have brain, if Marina has brain or not. She had everything is scattered down now. If you tell Marina, Marina will tell you no. I want Alan. That's what Marina will tell you. Now, I will tell you you make sense. Let's go for Ricky. Marina will not do that because she doesn't have football brain. So who will you go for? You knowing Olivier Giroud is leaving and Tammy Abraham is not the ideal number 9 going forward. So who will you go for? That's gonna partner Timo Werner going forward.
For me, even this whole partner Timo Werner, I think we have to realize that if Timo Werner doesn't up his game,
We're
he's
gonna buy
going to
someone
get
else.
benched. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
get benched seriously
Yeah.
because I give him this season and next season. But after
Mm-hmm.
that, if he doesn't perform to the level that we know him for, then there's no point of trying our like. If he doesn't perform,
That's
then
the
there's
reason I'm saying why Chelsea going for Haaland when they have the belief in Timo Werner.
they don't have the belief yet. They're still looking and hoping that he will improve for sure.
That's
But
the reason. Mm-hmm. That's
if
the
if
problem.
if if, if we would want to get one, because me, I like the whole long term stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel I don't think Tammy Abraham is that bad of a striker. I think
Yeah.
maybe in 2 3 years, Tammy Abraham could be one of the best strikers in the league.
Yes, but it needs to improve a lot of things. A
Of
lot.
course,
A
even
lot.
Harry Kane, Benzema, all these guys weren't that good at
Exactly. That's why I
their
said if Chelsea buying
proper
someone,
league.
someone of a proven number 9 that can that can nurture that can nurture Tammy Abraham to become number 9 boy we want to see. Then maybe then we can say the best of Tammy Abraham.
Exactly. Because people
Mm-hmm.
need to realize even Martial had his best season last season.
Yeah,
How many years has he been in the Premier League?
it's been
It
long.
takes time. It takes
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, Harry Kane would be the ideal target if Tottenham would want to sell. He would be the ideal.
No, Tottenham will sell if Harry Kane himself said he wants to go. That's the problem. Because I think Harry Kane, after if this year finish now, Harry Kane will really have like 2 more years in his contract, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. So if Tottenham missed out on Champions League one, Harry Kane will leave. I can guarantee you that he will go.
Exactly. Exactly. If they
He wants
miss
to
out
win, and the after
and they
in
don't
and the
win,
Euro is already coming up now. If England doesn't do well in Euro, in Euro 2020 coming up, that's a failure for English team entirely. So now that thing Harry Kane entire mentality. And if Chelsea are kind of doing, maybe Chelsea finish top 4, Chelsea kind of do very well in Champions League, that would change Harry Kane's mind. I'll be like, where should I go? But with Chelsea fall for Harry Kane, that is my problem because of the rivalry.
100%. I think
Because of the rivalry.
every top club would want to buy Harry Kane if they can afford it. He's
Mm-hmm.
that good. Let's be real here. He's that
But
good.
if
If they
Daniel
can
Levy
afford
said,
it,
I want 200 for Kane, do you think Chelsea will pay 200? No.
no, of course not. Of course
No.
not. You don't pay 200 for that. I don't think. Which player would you pay 200 for?
Daniel Levy said 200 for anybody that wants to buy Harry Kane, give me
It's only
200.
Neymar.
Neymar.
Neymar was
It's
$200
only
million.
Neymar. It's only Neymar. That's the only person.
Bro, I can't believe PSG
But was
spent
it worth it?
220 million
Can
on
I
a
ask you
guy
guys,
that
was Neymar worth 200 million?
no, bro, no football player is worth $200 million, bro. Even I would even go as far. You see how Barca paid Messi almost $500 million that ridiculous contract. No football player. You're not bigger than the club. I know Messi's fantastic, one of the greatest of all time, of course. But bro, I don't care how good you are. You don't deserve $500 million, bro. Like in just 4 years. That doesn't make sense. That's not good for club business. But back to
That's
the
my,
200 million.
that's my worry with
No,
Harry
no
Kane.
one is worth 200 million, bro.
Because
Nobody's worth, bro.
the way we are thinking as a fans now, I don't think the Chelsea but are thinking that way. I don't think Chelsea but are thinking that way because Chelsea but are going for fancy.
But
Because
remember, we
now
bought Torres for 50 million from Liverpool. When
we
50
bought who?
million pounds.
I'm gonna head out, man.
All right, we bought
We
who
bought
for?
Fernando
Torres
Torres
was
for
Roman sign. It wasn't the boss sign. It was not the boss. It
exactly,
wasn't the boss.
exactly.
So that's why I
So I'm
said,
telling you that you can buy that
mm-hmm.
kind of player. They have the ambition for sure. If he
Yeah, I know
wants to
Chelsea had the
go,
ambition of buying. I know Chelsea had the ambition, but the problem
but
is,
to ask
will Chelsea buy Harry Kane? That's the problem. Will
no,
they? No.
see, there's a
No,
possibility if he
200
wants to.
million, bro. No.
Not for
Nobody's worth
200
that much.
million. No, nobody's worth
Nobody's worth.
200 million.
Oh,
Nobody's
Yeah.
worth.
Real Madrid don't have the money, they're broke.
Like nobody's worth 200 million, bro. Because if I'm buying you for $200 million, bro, you gotta give me 4 Champions League in a row, bro.
What?
No, I'm serious, bro. Because look at PSG. I mean, because every time you bring up,
I know, but
like,
Prime
I just
Ronaldo
think
is
of
worth 200
PSG, bro.
million. Prime Ronaldo is worth 200.
Because
Yeah, you guys saw the guy that gave you four. It's crazy, man.
yeah, four. But I could like, you could say PSG is the team that broke the transfer market too. Because they took it so far. They bought Neymar.
So
Then the
Tony
following
and
season they got Mbappe for
Mbappe,
160. How much was that? I don't remember.
180, one is something or something like that.
Yeah, bro, which is insane. You buy 220 million to a guy that gets injured on purpose so he could go party with his sister. So it's up to PSG, bro. I don't know.
Easy. Respect Neymar.
I respect
So
Neymar.
to that's round this up because I want to go to the preview of the weekend. Let me come to Sammy before I come to Vilton now. Sammy, in the summer now, Giroud leave. Who do you buy to nurture Abraham, Kane, Haaland? Because one thing I know, me as a fans, we can't get Kane. That one I can assure you that we cannot.
Yeah, if we can get Kane, for sure, I'm taking Kane. If we cannot, then anybody actually. I really don't. Anybody that will perform. If it's Haaland, then it's Haaland. If it's not Haaland, then someone else. I don't. I actually. maybe I doubt Benzema wants to leave. That's the kind of ilk I want. To. I want a proven striker that if they flop, they flop, and we know we tried what we wanted. But Haaland, I don't trust
There's,
this guy, man.
yeah,
I
I
don't
don't.
trust
Yeah,
him.
But the Bundesliga facts, I'm worried.
there's no established world striker in the world
That's
right
the
now,
thing.
bro. That's the
Hmm.
thing.
That's the thing.
That's
Cause
the
Even
problem.
this
I remember we
Americans,
were
the
talking
Americans are
about. I
attacking
remember
Americans.
we are talking about that on one of the hangout. Like we were saying,
Hmm.
like attacking player has really gone down in world football,
Hmm.
or maybe they're just waiting to be discovered. Maybe
Exactly.
they're playing for the promised team. We just haven't discovered them yet. But
Exactly.
at the
So
moment,
let
no.
me come to Everton now. Will you go for Harry Kane or will you go for Haaland? If you're a Chelsea board, who do you
If
go
you,
for? Because
I
you
would,
want to win the Premier League and the Champions League in the next 2 years. Who do
I
you go
would go
for?
for Harry Kane. You have to go for Harry Kane. You know he plays in the Premier League one. You might even win the Prem, and he's in it, and he's a playmaker, and he can score goals. Haaland is simply Haaland. Don't get me wrong. Haaland can
Is
play it,
Haaland the
but
temptation? Is Haaland the temptation?
yeah, of course, because Haaland is the hottest transfer right now you could say in the world. I'm sure Man City trying to get him, Liverpool maybe trying to get him, Real Madrid, I know we trying to get him.
Hmm.
Any big club that need a striker trying to get Haaland. Haaland is probably the hottest transfer out right now.
I
But
think
again,
I think and
he just
because
got
I'm
it. He
hearing
got
the I'm hearing the news that Pep Guardiola said he wants to get Harry Kane if he leaves Tottenham Hotspur. Guardiola said that he wants him
Then
to replace Sergio
when
Aguero.
we get
Sergio
Aguero,
Aguero,
then we
yeah.
get Aguero.
He
Nah,
said he
nah,
wants
don't
him
get
to.
Aguero. Because Aguero is so injury prone right now, bro.
That's the thing, though.
This guy doesn't even play football no more.
That is
He
why
plays he
because Pep
plays
Guardiola
he
said he
plays
wants a player that can replace Aguero goals. So he said he
because
will probably go for Harry Kane.
if
And
you get
the
Aguero,
and the
bro,
board the kind of the board asked him that what's called the media asked him that if Tottenham said 200 for Harry Kane, he said he doesn't mind as long as he can give him what Aguero gave him. Is okay with him.
because the only thing Aguero is gonna do for you maybe help Chelsea Football Club get better on foot check on FIFA Online because that's the same what he does now. He just plays on Twitch and plays like it's like he doesn't even want to get back out there. So
So
for
if Guardiola get Harry Kane and Chelsea get Haaland, who wins?
if Guardiola get Harry Kane and Chelsea get Haaland, because that's all. See, that's all like probably
Spec-
like what's that
Speculation.
word? Yeah, speculation. That's all speculation because what if Haaland turns out to be the next Cristiano and Messi? What if he turns out to be the next like consistent guy?
Consistent goal
Consistent
scorer.
top player, yeah, consistent. What if he becomes that player? And Harry Kane, what if he wins a maybe what if he's the guy that helps City wins the Champions League? It's all speculation. Because Harry Kane can still flop. He could go to Chelsea and flop. It can happen.
Exactly.
Like
It's possible.
it's all a chance. It's like when you buy a transfer, it's all a chance.
Yeah.
That's why I'm worried about spending too much money on a striker because we've done it in the past. He has never worked out. Apart from Drogba, and I don't think we spend that much on Drogba. It was like 20 something or how much we spent on Drogba.
The best
So
was Diego Costa.
but Diego Costa and Costa for 2 seasons gave us everything we wanted in the number 9. Apart from Costa, I haven't seen a striker which you kind
Yeah.
of bought Morata
I
flop.
just know Morata that system wasn't good enough for him because he's balling
No,
everywhere right
I think the environment, Chelsea environment was not good enough for him. Morata is
now.
not a,
System.
it's not Morata is not a bad player. It's just that the environment is not peaceful for him
Yeah.
because
And
every time he makes an open goal, he get cost, he gets a bit mad at the level. Then I keep asking myself, how do you miss this empty goal? How? Open goal, you can see it in your face. How?
and that's one thing I don't like with Timo Werner is that I see a lot of Chelsea fans they are giving Timo Werner this
So many
allowance
mistakes.
that Morata didn't get because we can actually say Morata's first season in Chelsea was better than Timo Werner's in a way when it comes to goal scoring. But
Yes.
Morata, for some reason, when he was missing chances, no one was saying, "Oh, he will come good. He needs time."
Who?
All these things
Mhm.
that people are saying for Werner now. So
You know
at the
why?
end, Morata.
Because you know why? Because Werner was a proven goal scorer in Germany behind Lewandowski. So he has not that he hasn't proven it. Morata hasn't proven it for Madrid. It's coming from the bench to score goals. So, but Timo Werner has been proving it week in and week at consistent level
Yeah,
in the
yeah, that makes sense.
Bundesliga.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's the reason I'm saying. So, Damien, what did Fabrizio tweeted? What did he tweeted?
He said Upper Meccano had received more than one approach from Chelsea. Liverpool were planning for move in the summer, but he's joining Bayern Munich until 2026 because they immediately satisfy his request. Due to be signed in the next month when Bayern will pay the release clause. Insane, man.
Wow. Okay, so Chelsea acquired for him
Yeah,
twice. You
yeah.
see,
Chelsea was trying to sign him,
because
but again, like I
I
told you,
know, I knew
Bayern
it.
get first dip, bro. Bayern get first dip,
Because
bro.
I knew Chelsea number one priority was Upamecano, because that was what Thomas Tuchel wants. That was the first player he wanted when he came to Chelsea. Give me Upamecano. He said I want the ball playing center back.
That's
That's
why
why
I
I
said
said, go for it.
yes we were at Madrid, but I just feel like Bayern's gonna play around with Haaland head and get him
Haaland.
too, bro, to replace
Because I think
Lewandowski.
because they missed out on Kai Havertz, and that kind of thing hurt them a lot. Because missing out on Kai Havertz kind of hurt them
And
as a
especially he's German too. He's
mm-hmm.
German too,
German
so
too. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
they just didn't want to pay that much money. They wanted because that's one thing I gotta give Bayern props. They
Mm-hmm.
have never spent more than 80 million on any
No,
transfer. They have
no.
never, and they win Champions League because they just
Because you know why?
find talent.
Because
They
you know
find
why?
talent in their team and do it.
Because they have a good sporting director. They have
Yeah,
a
they do.
director of football who knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Chelsea Football Club doesn't have a sporting director. Roman is an ambitious man. Ambitious man. He wants to win. But when you want to win and you give your life, your money, your everything to Ganaskia and do this, that's a failure. Ever since Emmanuel left, we've been like this. Then we came down like this. That's Chelsea Football Club. We've gone down instead of going up. We've come down because we gave our life to Magna Ganaskia. And people call him the God of Chelsea. That's the problem we're facing. They call him the God in Chelsea Football Club. That's what we're facing at the moment. Because the problem is Roman trusts Marina so much that like, hey, Marina, whatever is going on, just tell me. We can easily fix this thing. That's the problem. That's the issue. Because if there was sporting director in Chelsea, I don't think we're gonna go for Ireland. We'll probably go for Harry Kane because the defender will tell you this person has an end product than this. Can we just go for this? Yes, I can understand that kind of person age, but this person will give us end product than this guy because he's an proven player in this league, this league, this league. You just need to surround this who can guarantee him goal scorer. This kind of player we have can guarantee him that because there's a passer, they say this. No, that is the job of sporting director to convince the board and the owner a right direction in which Marina can do.
No, but
That is the
even
problem.
I'm not angry, Sha. We didn't get Upamecano. I didn't really want him that much. If we signed him, I would be happy, but I wasn't really. I would prefer
Again, he's
Varane.
not an established player too. He's just
Exactly.
all hype right now.
I think
Mhm.
we have that whole talent of, oh, we have youth and all that. I think we have that enough. I think right now we
Yeah,
need to go for world-class players or
yeah, exactly. We
players
just need
that,
that. We just know. That's why I said we need that number nine that can take up like 4 or 5 years. That's what we someone that can be like Drogba replacement, not like but someone that can stay longer. That is who we need. And that
that's why
and
I
I
was
think
so
that's why
happy with Ziyech. That's why I was so happy with Ziyech signing because I truly believe Ziyech will have an impact the way Bruno is having on Man United.
yeah, I
I
think
really,
we
but
just need to adapt.
is
That's it.
yes, the injury affected him. But
Hmm.
because this team doesn't need youths that much. We have enough
Yes.
youths. We need
Hmm.
certified ballers, like people that are seasoned.
That's for me. I wouldn't mind Harry Kane coming to Chelsea, but the problem with Chelsea have that brain of going for Harry Kane rather than being tempted with Haaland. That's the
The
problem.
difference at the end, the one thing we have to realize is that for them to sack Lampard, it means they want immediate success in a way. Because if
Hmm.
they wanted project, they would have kept.
Chelsea,
They would
listen
have
to me.
kept.
No, bro. Chelsea, listen to me, brother. Listen. I said it from day one. It's a 2 years apprenticeship. 1 year is gonna get a leeway. Do whatever I want to do. Buy 1 million player. Get a leeway. You see that second year, Nasaki go. He's going. I said it. Roman said, "Good guy," and he listened to me. See, I'm too good.
But that's the thing because Lampard, if we wanted a project of for the future,
Mm-hmm.
Keeping Lampard would have been the best thing,
I've been
and
the
just
best.
let him make all the mistake and grow with these players and everything. But them signing Tuchel means that they want some success. They want immediate
Yep,
success.
success.
They
Mm-hmm.
want even this manager bounce because it's proven that when you sack a manager, not all the time, but most of the time, if you sack a manager and you
Mm-hmm.
sign a new one, most of the times they actually
And I
the
think
season
Tuchel
goes
has
well.
proven enough. He's an expert who has proven in every club he's good that he can improve player. And the other is that kind of manager who knows exactly what he wants from his player. That's why I said maybe if a player like Harry Kane goes there, I can guarantee you, maybe just maybe Harry Kane can up his goal tally up in a season. Because I remember Harry Kane always get injured every season. That's my problem with him. He's not been
Yes, but
consistent enough.
that's because no, why he gets injured too is because he doesn't have a replacement. It's just this
Yeah, he's been
signed
overused. Exactly. Exactly.
overplayed, over like
Mm-hmm.
that's why they signed Vinicius because they wanted to actually give him some rest. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing that helped them is that they didn't qualify for Champions League, so they
Yeah.
were playing Europa League games, and they don't need a top striker for Europa League
For
group
Europa
stage
League,
and
yeah.
all that. So that one too helped
Exactly.
them this season. So,
Mm-hmm.
but normally, uh, at the end, Hurricane. That's why I feel if we keep Tammy, we would have been okay
Mm-hmm.
because Tammy would be playing all these
Because
league games.
this after this year, after this summer now, Tammy only has 1 year more in his contract. And Sammy said he doesn't want to sign yet. That he wants to see Chelsea transfer policy before he can put pen to paper. He said it already. Yeah, after when this year ends, like around May or June, that's when Tammy contract remains 1 year. So after that, when it remains 1 year, he can decide to go to any club if he like. He
No,
can
I
decide.
think it will.
So
I think it will stay. I think it will stay depending on
he said he
if
already said it depending on who Chelsea bring in as a number
yeah,
9. He
which is
said it.
smart because he has to think of his future.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
Tammy to stay in Chelsea and be on the bench. I'll prefer
Mm-hmm.
him to leave. So
Yes,
if it's that, then he should leave. If we get a Haaland, because I don't see Tammy and Haaland,
playing
especially at
together.
the same age. I don't see
No,
them. It can't work. But
it
with
can't work.
Kane,
It
I
can't
can
work.
see that
With Kane,
they are
I can
on
see it working because it can kind of nurture with Kane together and work and
exactly.
form a partnership. But with Haaland, I don't. If I can tell you right now, if Chelsea buy Haaland, I can guarantee you, Abraham is out of the door.
Yes, yes, of
Abraham is
course, of
gone.
course.
He's
He's leaving
gone.
for sure.
He's out of the door. Dan Jantua going. Bye bye.
Yes.
He's gone.
That's it. So that's the thing, Sha. If it matters the way they go. So
Mm-hmm.
at the end, Sha. But which matches are this weekend though?
I want to
Which
bring
matches are
out
we
the
expecting?
EPL preview. So let me bring
We
it
have
down.
Leicester versus Liverpool, Man City versus Spurs. Those are the two big games that we have.
So let me just bring this out to you guys now. So let me come to Viewer now. If this is okay, can you guys see it? I just
Yeah, I
put
can
it
see it.
okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
So if Leicester City beats Liverpool and Chelsea win on Monday and Chelsea top, do you? So let me say, who do you put the blame to? Let me come to Liverpool form first before I talk about the EPL preview for Saturday. Who do you put the blame to? Club, Liverpool, or the system himself is overloading those players?
Again, it's everybody's at fault. But again, the reason why I'm not too yes, for Liverpool standard, this is very bad. But the reason why I'm giving them this year off because they've been playing at such a high level for the
Mm-hmm.
past 2 seasons
To
that
almost 3 seasons.
yeah, almost 3 seasons now. Like eventually they were gonna have a year off. But at the same time though, when Van Dijk got injured, everybody thought they were gonna decline, but they were performing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what game it was. I think ever since the West Brom game, they just I don't know. It's like
No, I think ever since the
what game was it?
The Everton game in which they lost, did
No,
they not
no,
they draw the first
it wasn't.
match?
Let me see because it
So
wasn't
The
the
Van Dijk injury when Van Dijk when
no because when Van Dijk got injured, everybody was saying, "Oh, Liverpool is done, they done," but they were still like Liverpool
winning
was still winning because
winning.
let me see what quick what game it was. But ever
I
since
think
that, I don't know. Let me see.
I think can we say
Let me
that
look
Aston
at
Villa when they lost 7-1 or 7-2?
No, no. It was after they won Crystal Palace
They
7-0.
won 7-0. No, yeah, it was
Yeah.
the West Brom game. Ever since the West Brom game 1-1 when they drew at Anfield, the West Brom game, Liverpool hasn't been the same. They're toothless. I don't know because that game happened in December 27. Ever since that, they just decline. I don't know what that is because that's so strange because most people pick them for them to win the Prem again. To me,
I
I
picked
always pick City. I
I
pick
picked
City to win
Liverpool.
it. I
Yeah.
picked City to win it because I just thought City, like to be honest with you, City they have better depth squad than Liverpool. And this season, you're gonna need depth for this season. And two,
Yeah.
City has one of the greatest managers that's really good at winning trophies. Pep
Yeah.
Guardiola, he knows how to win it. And
Mm-hmm.
and I could see how determined City were because I remember when City gave Liverpool that God of Honor. you could see the City player face. They were so angry that they had to give him a guard of honor. So that's why I was like, that might be their motivation. But I've never seen that because I know Liverpool playing such a high level. I know this is their year, but it doesn't make sense. How you go from being first in the league in December, now you fighting for top four? Because let's be real, if Leicester beats Liverpool tomorrow, Chelsea could make top four this season. There's still a lot of games left, bro. Because the way Liverpool is going, I'm not gonna be surprised if they lose to Leipzig in the Champions League. Even though Leipzig is different, but again, I don't like comparing league to Champions League because it's two different things. Because you could have a bad season in your league, and you somehow go to the final or win the entire Champions League. It can happen. But if I'm Liverpool, like Klopp said, they're fighting top four because Chelsea could make that top four. You never know. But if I'm going based on form, I would say either this game is gonna be a 2-2 draw, or I think Leicester can actually win this game.
Wow. Sam, what are you going for? Draw or win?
I'm going for a Liverpool win. Not because I actually want them to draw the match. I would love a draw in this match because, and this shows why it's so important for Liverpool to win this game, because it's almost like a two-loss for them, because if they lose this game, it's harder for them to catch Leicester. And also,
let me see the table. So let me see. So can you guys see it? So the table is 43 to Leicester, 40 to Liverpool. So that's 3-point gap. So if Leicester City win, they go for the 6. That's 6
if Liverpool win, Liverpool's gonna be ahead on goal difference.
Yeah, so if we win on Monday, we go above Liverpool. So how many points are we gonna be within Leicester? That's gonna be that 40, 41, 42.
It's gonna be 4 points.
4 points.
Yeah, if Liverpool loses, Leicester's gonna have 46, and if Chelsea wins on Monday, Chelsea's gonna have 42 points. So it's gonna be 4 points behind Liverpool. Again, if Liverpool doesn't make top four, bro. To be honest with you, if Liverpool somehow
after Liverpool, Leicester City play Aston Villa, they can easily draw that match or lose that match. So who do Liverpool play next after Leicester City? Who do they play next? Let me see.
That's the key thing. If it's a lowering team, I think they're gonna get a draw because
they play after Leicester City. They're not playing any match anymore.
Who did they go against? What's the next game? Go to matches. Wait.
Okay, they're not playing any match anymore. Wait, let me go back. Okay, so match is right. So
after Leicester, okay. So after Leicester, they have the Champions League.
Then they have the Champions League.
Yeah, after Leicester, then they have Everton. And they have Everton. That's gonna be a tough game.
So they have the Merseyside derby.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game. Because and they have Sheffield United. This is the problem.
So we play. Okay, if they lose to Leicester now, we play before them. So we can easily go. If we win, that's 42, 43, 44, 45. So we can go 45, maybe like 5 points ahead of them or 4 points ahead of them before the Everton match. That's a huge pressure on them.
Because Liverpool have two big games. You have Leicester Saturday, and you have and Tuesday you have Leipzig in the Champions League. Then you have Leipzig in the Champions League. Because this is the problem with Liverpool. With the big club except for City, they could get results. But against a team where they gotta break down like a West Brom, like a Fulham, like a Sheffield United or Brighton, they just can't. They lost at Anfield to Brighton, for crying out loud.
No, but that's the power of a low block. I think we don't like a low block. It's hard to score against.
But how come City does it pretty well though? Yeah, United does it pretty well too
because they have creative players. United do it very well too. I'm surprised actually with United because I think that shows the impact of Bruno and also Rashford stepping up. But like, that's why I actually believe Leicester they will lose, because Liverpool will for sure turn up against Leicester, and
because they have to bounce back from that City game. Because if they lose to Leicester, bro, Leipzig are gonna be looking chasing their chips, bro. Leipzig gonna be, bro. These guys' morale is seriously down right now. We could do something.
Because if they lose to Leicester City, I think for me it's over. It's over.
It's not yet over though, but
no, there's still plenty games. It's not over.
I know there's plenty games. I'm talking about if they lose to Leicester, before to catch up to the top 3 or top 4 is gonna be difficult for them. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be very difficult
for them to win the league. I agree, but for them to stay in the top 4, it will still be quite easy because of the way this season is. Because all they need is a run. And that's why I even say with Tuchel that I'm waiting for us to lose a match or draw a match to see the
Mm-hmm.
reaction of the
Just in the
players.
we just at this moment is a run. We are on that running moment.
So if
Mm-hmm.
we can continue it, that's good. But at the end,
Mm.
Liverpool, Leicester. My problem with Leicester is every time they face Liverpool, I feel they're in good form and everything, and then they face Liverpool. I don't know if it's Brendan Rodgers and the fact that Klopp is living in his house in Liverpool right now, but seriously, he just allows him do anything. He doesn't
That's true.
care.
That's true.
Doesn't
That's true. That's true.
like Leicester's record against Liverpool in this like last 2 years has been very poor. They always
But
lose to Liverpool.
the problem Liverpool needs to be worried about is Jamie Vardy. That's the player they need.
Every team has to be worried with Jamie Vardy. He's that good. So yeah, I think Liverpool win it, sha, but because of
So Man
Salah,
City, Tottenham, who wins?
ah, that one I have to say. uh, On paper, it seems that Man City should win it, but I think Tottenham, you cannot. Their counter attack is dangerous with Kane, and there will be spaces. Man City will leave that space for a counter attack. So if Man City are extremely clinical, that they can kill the game in the first like 30 minutes with 2 goals,
Mm-hmm.
then I think they'll win it. But if they let it be like 70 minutes, it's still 0-0, and they're trying to score, then I think Tottenham will they'll take it with a counter, especially with Kane and Son.
Vuitton.
So I'll go with Man City though.
Vuitton. Man
All right,
City,
so
Liverpool.
so you
Man
guys hear me?
City. Yeah. Man City, Tottenham.
Okay,
So who do?
Man City, Man City versus. See, this game is right. If I had to bet on a team, I would bet on City because you can't. The way City form is on right now, you can't just bet. You can't bet against them right
You
now.
know why I'm not so sold on City yet. People has been and this funny part is I'm not even talking about. I've not been speaking much about Man City's form in the Premier League because I have this feeling they will slip up, and when they slip up, it's gonna go bad.
Wait,
I have
who?
that feeling. Man City. They will yeah, I have
Wait,
that.
wait.
No,
With Pep as their manager, you think they're gonna
no.
slip up the
What I'm
Premier
saying
League?
is,
The Premier League?
no. I'm talking about the run they're having at the moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Eventually, something is gonna make them just maybe lose
yeah.
matches
But Abdullah, they
stupidly.
used to that though. Remember in
Mhm.
2018, they went on a 18 game winning streak in the
Mhm.
Prem. They
Yeah.
did lose, but with Pep as their manager, bro, nah, Abdullah, they're not gonna slip up the Prem. The Prem is over.
Abdullah, the biggest mistake Chelsea made in this decade was allowing Pep Guardiola to go to Man City
Yes.
because we had the chance to sign
We
this
had
guy,
the
but he
chance. Yeah.
wanted us
We
to
are.
sell
No,
us.
it was that stupid Marina, the god of Chelsea. She said she
Yes,
was
he wanted
that
us to
pissed me
sell
off
all our
because
players.
yes, because what's called Pep said he doesn't want the Chelsea kind of caliber of Chelsea player he has in his at that moment. He wants to sell it. And Roman said, "I'll give you the money. If you is that want, I'll give you the money. Buy whatever you want. If you want to spend trillion, I'll give you." But Marina was like, "No, Roman, you don't do this, man. No, don't do this. How do you? No. I'm not so done, Roman. I'm not so done this. I'm not so done. I know Roman. She will listen to Marina because they are close together. That's the
But
mistake we made.
But as for this game though,
Mm-hmm.
Leicester versus City versus Spurs, I'm gonna go for the City one because I'm sure City's gonna be careful now because they learned the lesson from that first game against Jose. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't let them play on the counter attack. Just do what Liverpool did. Don't give him any space. Just put pressure on Spurs and you can win this game. And
Mm-hmm.
you can bet against City the form that
Because
they're on
the
right now.
City what the Everton matches they play in the FA Cup. That's where they explode. That's where how to explode
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur very well.
Yeah, I think City's gonna win because I think City's gonna win this game. To be honest with you, I think so. I think it's gonna be 3-1 City. 3-1 City.
So the
Oh, to
Sunday
be
match.
honest with you, since City
Mhm.
been keeping a lot of clean sheets, it might even be a 2-0 City. Two
So
zero.
the Sunday match is Southampton Wolf. Who goes? Is it 1-1 or 2-2 or 0-0?
I would go for one a draw, 1-1.
West Brom United.
I think United should win this. United should win there because they on a good run right now. I'm
If
pretty
they
sure
lose to West Brom, they could easily lose to West Brom. I don't trust United. They could easily lose to West Brom. Very
they can,
possible.
but the problem with that is that Manchester United away from in the Premier League is honestly insane. It's insane. You see their away form, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they haven't lose. They haven't lose any. Yeah.
They've
They
lost.
haven't. They haven't lose any away games since
They've
Bruno
lost.
Fernandez came in
No,
the
they've
Premier
lost an
League.
away game. They lost to Sheffield United away.
No, it was at home.
It was
Was
at
at
home.
home? It was
Yeah,
at
it was
home?
at home. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was at home. Ever since Bruno Fernandez joined Manchester United, they haven't lose any away game in this entire Premier League run, bro, which is
It's
insane.
crazy though.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's a massive impact.
But when they're home for some reason at Old Trafford, anybody could beat them. A selfie could beat them, and Everton could draw 3-3 of them at home. Like it's weird, but they haven't lose any away game ever since Bruno Fernandez came in. Eventually, they're gonna lose, but I'm just saying, I would rather bet on Manchester United beating West Brom this Sunday.
But if they lose, I'm just gonna be laughing. I won't say a word.
If they lose, I'm gonna laugh. Yeah.
I'll be laughing, just chilling. I won't say anything until I win on Monday.
Is that a record though? Is that a record that they still haven't lose? Like they still haven't lose an away game in the Premier
I
League
think
since they
that's
got
a
Bruno?
record.
Might be. I'm not sure though, but it might
That
be.
I think that's a, that it's
I've
supposed
never
to be.
seen something like this, bro. Like you just
It's
don't lose away.
possible.
Because playing away is the toughest thing you could do as a football player. Playing away, these guys haven't lose ever since Bruno came in.
It's possible, and they could lose.
No fans help too.
Yeah, no
No
fans.
fans.
This year.
So Arsenal, Leeds United, who wins?
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
That's the game I want to watch on Sunday.
That's gonna be a good game because Leeds United, bro. These guys are
Leeds,
insane.
and you believe
bro.
Leeds are top of Arsenal. They top Arsenal with 2 points.
Because I love Leeds United, and I do see Leeds United are the perfect team where you could say the media loves them, but if it's let me explain what I'm trying to say. Like Leeds United, the game against Manchester United, I think it was what 8. What was the score? 7-4? I don't remember. Okay, what was the score of that game?
6-2. Is it 6-2 or 6-3?
I don't
6-2.
remember. But anyway, people praise Leeds United for playing that style of football, just attack. But I bet you if it was like a Simeone or Mourinho, they would have criticized him for playing park the bus, which
Pragmatic
I think is
football.
unfair. Pragmatic football, which I think is unfair. But Leeds United, I've never seen a team like Leeds United, bro. Like these guys will attack. They could be losing 5-6-0. They're still gonna attack, bro.
Attack. That's massive Bielsa's MC. That's how Bielsa plays. You know Bielsa. That's how he plays.
But it's gonna be. I hope it's a really high scoring game, like
I don't think.
Liverpool. I think Arsenal gonna win just because Leeds defense is not that good.
Possibly, yes, we'll see. But I think the recent matches they've been more pragmatic recently. Bielsa has been learning recently. It's been more pragmatic. If it was his recent matches, they've not been going gun out that much.
Because Abdullah, look at the record, bro. Abdullah, Leeds United scored 38 goals.
38 goals and conceded 38 goals.
Conceded 38 goals. Like that's.
I don't know what to say. That's it. I don't know what to say. I don't know. So, Everton, Fulham. Can we say Everton
I think
win?
Everton's gonna win after what they did in the FA Cup run.
But do you know there's no Dominic Calvert-Lewin? No Calvert-Lewin.
Ooh.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin is injured.
They're good enough to be Fulham, though. They're good enough to be Fulham. Is it
the same Fulham that drew against Spurs and the same Fulham that drew against Liverpool. So you can't just write them off.
I'm not gonna write them up, but they're good enough to be Fulham. I'm sure they are.
And on Monday, West Ham, Sheffield United.
Ooh.
That's a tough match.
West Ham, Sheffield United.
West Ham, Sheffield. That's a tough match.
West Ham's gonna win. I think West Ham's gonna win.
And the big one on Monday.
Sadly, Sheffield United is getting relegated this season.
And the big one, Chelsea, Newcastle.
I think Newcastle is gonna win this one. To be honest with you. Chelsea's gonna win. Chelsea's gonna win.
To Sunday matches, Southampton at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Who wins?
That's a draw. I think that could be a draw. 1-1.
Sammy, you there?
Yeah, man, I'm there.
Oh, okay. Southampton, Wolf. Who wins? Draw 1-1, 2-2, 0-0.
I see a 1-1 in that game because Southampton right now they're looking shaky. So draw.
West Brom United. A shocker or no?
No, United will destroy them.
Arsenal lead United. Lead? Arsenal lead, maybe?
I want Arsenal to lose it so bad.
So you want Bamford to score?
Yes, I want Arsenal to lose it, but I don't think they will. So I think
Everton,
that's going to
Fulham.
be, yeah. And Everton, Fulham, Everton will win for sure.
No, no Dominic Calvert-Lewin though.
Yeah, they should still beat them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they draw too because Fulham are very, they have a lot of energy and they're quite good. So maybe a
Defensively,
draw.
they've been good though. Defensively, they've been good.
Yes. So maybe a draw for that match.
West Ham, Sheffield United,
Um, West Ham. West Ham should beat them.
and Chelsea, Newcastle.
Mm, this match, I want us to win, but man, this is another test for sure. Yeah, hopefully we win. I can't say, man, this team is very shaky at the moment.
This season, this season is one of the craziest season I've ever seen in the Premier League, man.
Yeah,
Unpredictable season,
exactly,
unpredictable. You
exactly.
cannot predict what's gonna happen. I can't believe Liverpool. What is happening to Liverpool? I just don't understand.
That's the thing, man. And injury helped, it didn't help them too. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the way this season is. So
Yeah.
hopefully we win. As a Chelsea fan, I'll say a win, but I'm not
Yes.
overconfident for sure.
Me too.
Me too.
Sure, sure, sure. All right, that's for you today. Really
Yeah,
appreciate you
man.
guys for coming on
Yeah,
in. Appreciate you guys for coming in.
yeah,
And
man.
guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe, guys. Like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Really appreciate you guys for coming in. Really appreciate you guys for coming in. Like and subscribe. From people who send the super chat, Damien Perez, thank you for the guys who sent the passage. Guys, on the road to 100, guys, road to 100 subscription, guys, road to 100, guys, road to 100. Yes, Damien, thank you. Road to 100, guys, let's get there. Let's smash the like and subscribe. Let's smash the like and subscribe, guys. Road to 100. And kind of, guys, follow me on Twitter at Toplus Fredas, TOPLUSFRESH 10 at Twitter. The same on my Instagram and the same on my Facebook. Follow me there, guys. Guys, peace, 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 guys, and have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful, lovely weekend. Weekend of full of football, guys. See you and peace. Guys, peace out.